welcome to HadsChat. What number is this? Do we have any idea?
I shot 50, I think, or 49,
50.
50.
And
If this is 50 without the
Cam.
owner, that's crazy.
That's pretty crazy. Well, anyways, for the
49. 49.
Ah, we got
49.
lucky.
Okay, yeah, we have to go 50 with Cam. Anyways, for the video watchers, you already noticed that Cam is not here today. For all the audio watchers, Cam is not here. It is just us
Yeah, you
three.
won't hear his big
Which
mouth
is
speak, dude.
Yeah, no, that loud dude, bro. we should just shit on Cam for an hour straight of this podcast. Anyways, yeah, we're
Yeah.
we're pulling our weight this week. All the co-hosts got together and we decided we still need to do it. Cam's at the beach while we're here slaving away.
Yeah,
But
doing his job for him. By the way, this was an hour. No, it wasn't.
this
An hour.
took
It was
so
pretty
long
much
to
30
set up.
minutes. It was 30 to 40 minutes of just hard work and grind to
Mhm.
get this ready
Mhm.
for y'all.
And
Nothing was ready.
that was mainly because I refused to be our technical guy, and we had to walk Hoss through all the steps to
Dude,
get there.
this man Sam was
Unfortunately.
so extra setting it up, but that doesn't matter. They don't want to. They
It
don't
was
want
like
to listen to
watching paint dry, though. For if you want to have an idea of how it felt trying to get him to learn it all, it was like that.
that. It was pretty
By
bad.
the way,
But we're
Sam
here.
had everything ready, but he just didn't want to use it.
For some reason. For some reason, just wanted to be extra.
So Sam, tell us about your. Sam is now coaching our previous high school that we went to. Now
Big step.
He's helping.
Yeah, I played there. Best season to ever happen at this high school. We
The
were
glory
undefeated.
days.
Yeah, the glory days. I peaked in high school. But no, I had a
Wait, tell him
decent
what
amount of free
sport.
time. Oh, it's tennis.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I played in college. Um, and I
D2
just had a lot
D2's
of
pretty good, so he's a
yeah,
pretty solid player.
yeah. So I know a thing or two about tennis, but I just had a lot of free time, and I was like, well, what can I do with my free time? So I reached out to my former coach and was like, hey, can I help out? So now, yeah, I'm helping out coaching. Dude, it's a different like thing from being a student
Then being a teacher.
or yeah, like it's crazy. I could never be a teacher. Like I know this is coaching, but in essence, at this age, it's basically teaching. Like having to deal with like the spongy mind.
Mhm.
They don't like take in everything. They don't listen sometimes. A lot of ego. It's tough.
What kind of
Like,
leader are you out there? Are you like authoritarian or are
well,
you like laid
since
back?
okay, well, I've said this to them too. Since I'm the assistant, like
Mhm.
I don't have like the same, for lack of a better word, rights to
Mhm.
like act a certain way. Now, if I was head coach, we would do nothing but tennis. We'd run like dogs, and you know, we'd win with class, but at the same time, we would show emotion out there. Now, what I am as an assistant, I'm pretty laid back.
Are
If
you
they're
good
not
cop? Are
locked
you good
in,
cop?
I think they
He,
think I am. A lot of the players think
Oh.
I'm good cop, but in reality, I'm not. Like everything that I get told,
You're an op.
I, I, for the most part, pretty much go back and tell them, excluding some things, of course. I mean, there's not everything needs to be known by the head coach.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, it's hard for me to be bad cop when I'm closer in age to them than I am the head coach, anyway. So,
Mm.
but it's a balancing game, all of it. Like figuring out what are what are things that I can say to them that will resonate, and things I can't. So,
Mm.
also, how hard is it to not step on the? So, also preface, the two current coaches never played tennis, and like
yeah,
Samuel went to college for tennis, so like big difference.
yeah.
So how is it like not stepping over the
Yeah, so
boundary
that
and being like, yo, we
that's
shouldn't do this, by the way, this is useless.
yes, so that's hard because I do have respect for the other two coaches a lot, just as people.
Mhm.
And there are times where we're doing certain drills or other things that, like, me personally, just isn't, I don't think, beneficial, especially for our better players. Maybe our younger guys that aren't as uh, committed or haven't played as long, it might help them. But for the in the now, because I'm here to win. Like I'm not trying to just oh, let's build for the future. Every season for me should be win, win, win. And some of
Michael
the stuff
Jordan.
we spend time on, I don't think is helpful. But at the same time, I probably could do a better job at saying like, yeah, I don't think we should do this. But at the same time, they get the final say. So like, I
Do
mean,
you
I've
run
made
them?
suggestions. Huh?
Do you run them? Like, are you in charge of the conditioning?
For certain players outside of practice, yeah, we have extra conditioning, and those guys do run like hell, and they learn to respect me for that. Some of them, but I can't force them to do any of it. So the ones that want to get better, they get better, and the ones that don't.
Hmm.
And I think I do a good job at articulating that to them, making
Yeah.
them almost feel bad without directly saying like they're a piece of shit. You know what I
Man,
mean?
There you
dude, the
go.
I'm
manipulation
like,
is crazy.
like
I like
I
it.
like I'm like, hey, you're out here for a reason, right? Like you came extra to run with me for a reason.
We're gonna
Don't
run.
cheat yourself. Don't cheat yourself out of that reason. Like you're wasting your time if you're gonna come out here and half-ass it. Like you need to be giving it your all on all these like things I'm putting you through, or else you're wasting your time. And some of them that resonates with them, and others they're lazy, scared, they don't want to be tired, whatever it is, and
Hmm.
they just won't get a play. I mean, at the end of the day, tennis is track with a ball. Extreme hand-eye coordination and technical skills is what it takes to be good at tennis, and
Hmm.
really good stamina. And if you're not willing to put in the time in one of those areas of uh skill that is required, then you won't play. But um, there have been things where I've said something and we've taken that and applied it to
And
practice,
applied
but
it.
it doesn't happen all the time. So it's a little bit of a adjustment for me, just because I mean I do know better than the average Joe and what it would take,
Hmm.
or at the very least, whether you want to dispute my like skill level, I experienced it. I literally lived the college tennis player life. I went through every practice just like anyone else. I went to all the lifts. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
um, whether I'm good at tennis now or not, it's up for debate, but what I do have is the knowledge, and can't
Dude,
take that away from me.
you know
Back
what
in
I
the day.
was, you know what I was saying about today? The hardest like sports practice I ever had because I got
Yeah.
reminded because don't want to dox him, but like my old swim coach, you guys know, Coach T. Don't want to say his full name, but uh swim coach at the high school. I swam for 12 years if you couldn't tell by this like sick bod I got going on, but I did swim for 12 years competitively. I remember one day we were in practice and like I don't know what was happening, but like homosexuality was like in the air during practice. So like all the guys were just like slap each other's asses the whole day, and like Coach T got like real mad at us for it because like he like was we were playing around like not doing the sets whatever. So he's like, y'all don't want to swim. We're not gonna swim. Get out of the pool. So like we like all got out of the pool. He's like, y'all don't want to swim. We're not gonna swim all day long. And the next 2 hours, he made like us swimmers do like dry land activities, like running, sit ups, push ups, sprints, which like swimmers are like not good at anything else besides swimming. So it was
Yeah.
like such a bad day, bro. It was like the worst day of practice I think I've ever had in any like sport for school or outside of school ever. It was
You
so
guys had to actually
bad.
fight gravity for once.
But but
Dude,
did
yeah.
did you guys
You
ever
guys
do that
never fight
again?
gravity. You
No,
just
dude,
swim.
no. The rest of the season we were locked in. We actually won
Yeah,
the
so he made an
conference.
example out of y'all, which is
No,
good. That's
yeah,
good
we.
coaching.
I remember we actually won conference 3 years out of my 4 years at South.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were a good swim team, but like that was
You
like
guys
early in
learned.
the season, and bro, we were it was bad, bro. I remember looking at everyone and we are like, this cannot be happening right now, dude. Cause like he made us like stay in our swimsuits too. Like we didn't change to like clothes. We were like outside running around in like speedos and stuff, dude. And it was cold. It was
Yeah.
cold, and we were wet. But no, yeah, it was a bad day. But that was like the worst day of practice I could ever remember, like ever.
Speaking of that, after today's loss, so we had a match day and we lost.
So funny.
Hmm.
I hope tomorrow's hell for them. Like, but it probably won't be. If I was a betting man, it probably won't be. They'll just get a stern talking to.
Hmm.
But I hope we just run them until they vomit on the court. That's what I want to see.
It must be awesome being on that side. Like have the whistle.
Oh,
I imagine
so
you with a whistle in your mouth and like your
so that's
hand on your
another
hip.
thing. That's another thing. Like, there's probably people out there that never played, and it's just a power trip for them, and they get enjoyment out of seeing people struggle.
I think
But for
anyone.
me, being on the other side of it, having done like, so for the conditioning outside of practice that I've done, having
Hmm.
done that shit and like known what it felt like to do like 20 fucking sets of this one drill that like I think
Mhm.
is great. You put a ball in every corner of the court, and then you have to like dead sprint to each corner and bring it back to the center spot.
Yeah. So it's like
Doing like
suicides.
20, yeah, but like agility, and you have to bend down, so like it's like
Mhm.
a full body workout. Having done like 20 of those without getting like a water break or stopping and then putting them through it, it's like a completely different feeling watching it and
Mhm.
seeing it. But like I know what it feels like, so I feel like that's like good for a coach. Like
Mhm.
to because if you put like a kid or whatever through something that you've never done, I don't feel like it
It kind of
means as much.
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I think
but
it's
Mhm.
like that in
I hope we
every
run.
source of life too. Like if you're people, whenever I did work at MDI, like nobody respects, like for example, like the office staff because they've never had to do the physical labor of like, and they don't know how hard it is. So then
Oh, is there
like,
like a rift to MDI between
no,
like
that's
the
just an example.
laborers and
Like that is
oh
just an
yeah.
example. Like when you don't have someone, when you have someone who's just like sitting afar, and then
Mhm.
like for example, when you get hurt and you have to go to the physical therapist at MDI,
Mhm.
they've never picked, so they don't know what it's like. They've never even
Mm.
like they've probably never even seen. They've probably never even done it once.
By
They
the way,
should
MDI
have
is a
everybody like
factory that Gaten works at. If you don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So MDI is a distribution center, and you pretty much just stack boxes all day on pallets. It's like if you,
Torture.
however you get your groceries, that's what people do. They just walk around warehouses and stack stuff, and then they deliver it to you. But anyways, they like if you hire someone you should have them go through the basic process of like, by the way, this is how we get through everything. So you should walk through an entire ticket
Mhm.
to be like, this sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, it does suck. So you should be able to like see the entire process. But people don't. So like when you go and you talk to people, they're like, oh, you just shouldn't do that. And it's like, well,
It's
if
easier
you
to
work the
say when you
job,
don't know.
Mhm.
yeah, it's like, oh, you shouldn't do something that makes your time faster. It's like, yeah, that's how
Yeah.
I get more money. Why would I not do that?
Hmm.
But it works like that in everything. If you
Yeah.
don't, if you've
Every
never
single
even
thing's
like
like that.
if you never experienced it, people appreciate you less because how are you gonna tell me what to do when you've never done it yourself? But
Even
when
if
you
you
have,
have done it, but you're like super far away from it. Like an example that comes to my head is like nursing, like all the managers and stuff. Like everyone likes the managers that are like newer managers because they like were just a nurse. You know what I'm saying? So they
yeah,
understand. But then the other managers were nurses like 20 years ago, where it was like way different. Like for example, they used to like wash needles 20 years ago and reuse them. So like just there's stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? If the further you are away from something, the harder it is to like take. I don't know, for them to relate to you, I
yeah.
guess.
When someone can relate to something that you're doing, it's like, oh, well, you get
Hmm.
it
Like
much better.
it's gonna be hard for us to relate to like the common people when this podcast has millions of listeners in like 100 episodes.
I don't
When
know
we're all
if it's
driving
just the
really nice
relate.
cars.
I don't know if it's just the relate thing too, though. I
But
feel
just to
like
respect
if
your
it's
word more.
fresher on, like, for example, in my case, like it's fresher on my mind. So
Hmm.
like whenever they're like dead and they don't want to go anymore, like I remember vividly how I felt in those moments, and I couldn't quit. Like if I quit, I was off the team. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So like I can literally verbatim describe to them the what I thought in my head to keep going, which could then in turn help them, and
Hmm.
then
Nice.
gains respect, stuff like that. And I think that works for a lot of different things, like even the nurse example. So
Hmm. No, yeah.
yeah.
Well, anyways, Gade, I want to talk to you about this. Dude, the boy died. The
Yeah.
yeah, Toriyama, Akira Toriyama, which you guys don't know if you're listening. You probably know if you're listening to this podcast, but he is the longtime creator of Dragon Ball, and he passed away at like 67 this week. Very sad, dude. I've
Which I never
seen
watched Dragon Ball, but he apparently
but
was like the
I mean, he's the
legendary.
guy that is like he influenced. Without Dragon Ball, there's no Naruto, there's no One Piece,
Yeah.
and then I mean, it's just like the coaching trees in football. Like without those two, then there's not a bunch of anime. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy, I personally watch Dragon Ball either, but I saw so many funny memes like the flag in Mexico is that half staff, and then I saw that the cartels like had a ceasefire for his death
Yeah,
the entire week.
that's actually insane.
Yeah, that's
Like
insane. Yeah.
Cartel is having a ceasefire for some Asian dude dying
Hmm.
because he created like this amazing cartoon for them to watch is actually
Hmm.
insane.
But
But
like
it's
everyone,
rare.
I mean, everyone loves the guy. And Kishimoto, the guy who made Naruto, was like said a long statement about it, how he's like so upset. Like they were actually homies, and the guy from One Piece that made One Piece is like so upset about it too. Like everyone's so sad about it. He's like the grandfather of manga, kind of. So
Yeah, like any anime, he's pretty much the reason
influence,
why.
it
Yeah, he's
exists.
the godfather of it. He's the reason why everybody does it now.
It's so sad. I actually like. I don't know. I like don't even personally watch Dragon Ball, but I was like, damn, that actually hits. That's a crazy death.
It's like Kobe dying
Yeah, it's like it's literally Kobe for
for sports
like
fans.
yeah, yeah for
Kobe for
That
manga
sports
day,
fans.
fans.
that
This
day was
manga
different.
guy.
The day that Kobe
That
died,
actually was like the
Yeah.
one. That's the one like
it's like our 9/11 kind of,
famous
right?
person. That's the
Like
one
where
famous
were
person
you?
that's died that everybody is really freaked out about, especially
Mhm.
Yeah,
the
like
boys.
that's probably the only famous person that passed away where I actually was a little shook.
Mhm.
Weirdly, like I wasn't like the biggest Kobe fan, but like I'm a big sports fan. And for whatever reason, him dying, and I think it was the way he died too.
He died in like a yeah, like a
It was a helicopter
yeah,
crash,
the worst, like
and
just
his
a weird
daughter
way.
was on there, and I think
Mhm.
just the way he died, and he had just recently retired, and he was doing a lot of good things for women's basketball, but also just the NBA as a whole.
Mhm.
I think the way he died, when he died, and then who was also on board was a big reason why so many people reacted the way they did when he passed.
The
Also, he's
way
just so
the way in
young.
the age, the way
Yeah,
in the
and he was young.
age, yeah.
He was so
Yeah,
young. He's like the
like,
last person you would think would die.
and that's why I say when, because he seems like such an untouchable person. Like he was
Yeah.
just so in control of life,
Mhm.
and to die like that, it was like,
Mm.
whoa. So
I mean, they were just going to like a game, right? Like an AAU game too, right?
yeah, his
It,
daughter's AAU game, and then the helicopter pilot, like, was like, no, we're good, I can do it,
mhm.
even though there's extreme fog and stuff, and then
Dude, I hate
they crashed.
helicopters, bro.
And it's crazy because the way they crashed, no one knew they were going down because they
Mhm.
just smacked into the side of a mountain.
Is that what
The
happened?
yeah, the helicopter pilot couldn't tell what was up versus down because he was flying blind in in fog.
But
Like it
they
was
have
just so
like that's like has to be some negligence, right, or something like that, because there's like
well, yeah,
you have your
it's
little like dials and stuff that tell you how high you are, no?
yeah, but when you're in fog like that, you can't tell
But
like
you can
what's
tell
going on.
what your dials say, and you know where a mountain is, you
I
know?
don't know. None of us really know anything about flying. I
Yeah,
mean, you
I don't
might be
know.
right, but all I know is that yeah, they crashed right into the side of a mountain, and maybe he knew, but he didn't. As far as they know, like Kobe and his daughter and everyone else on board, I mean, it was 1 second they were alive, next second, boom, dead. I mean,
Mhm.
Also,
the
think
the
about how
impact
fast
they
you're
wouldn't
probably
have
flying.
suffered. Yeah, and so at least they didn't suffer, from what I
Damn, I didn't
understand.
know they just
But the
crashed into a
autopsy's
mountain.
nasty. The autopsy's nasty. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I think someone showed it to me. It might have been you showed it to me. Yeah.
But like nasty in a way, like because you don't see their bodies, like of course, but you
It's like a
see like
drawing of the autopsy.
yeah, like oh, like
Like
this
what the
part of
like the
Kobe's
coroner
leg
did.
was completely gone, and his face was like it looked like he'd been uh what's the word, skinned alive type deal. Like his jaw was completely like fuck, like shit like that.
No, yeah, it looked like he got into a helicopter crash. Like it's pretty bad. So,
Yeah.
but no, yeah, it's fucked. Yeah, that's probably like one of the worst celebrity deaths. I'm trying to think of my personal like worst celebrity death that hit me the hardest, and I really can't think of one off the top of my head.
Robin Williams fucked me up too.
Oh,
Robin Williams is the weird one.
Robin Williams is
Yeah,
probably my favorite
because that one
actor.
was sad,
That one was sad. Really sad.
especially because what all he did for other people, and he probably saved so many lives himself, but couldn't
Mhm.
couldn't save himself.
I
Felt so
know.
alone. So
I wasn't really that sad about it, but my sister was really shaken up about Matthew Perry dying. That guy.
I don't.
He's
Yeah.
from Friends. He's like one of the Friends characters.
Oh yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, he died. He drowned in a tub or like a hot tub or something. Like he just like passed out or like had a heart
He was
attack
like
and he
drunk,
drowned.
right?
No, and he was sober.
Oh okay.
He had drug problems, sobered up, changed his life around just to have cardiac arrest from probably like all the drugs he did
Yeah,
use,
complications.
and then he just drowned in a hot tub.
But apparently he was also struggling because it was like posting all these pictures and
Oh,
like
really?
videos of like something about like Batman was like a huge like um I don't know. Apparently, like that was like something he would use to keep himself sober, something
Mhm.
like that.
Mm.
And he like, if you look at, I saw a video on it, like the week or 2 weeks before he passed away. There's like a whole series of videos that kind of like lead you down a trail of like, hey, I'm struggling, and then like
And then that happened.
Nobody really.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really like thought anything about it, and then all of a sudden he died.
Well, I'm not
There's
really.
always signs.
There is signs. I think the two that probably was the most sad for me because when I used to listen to them a lot, it was like X and Juice World. Like I don't listen to their music like really anymore because I don't listen to rap music anymore.
Juice WRLD
But
sucked. Juice WRLD
but
was
Juice
terrible.
WRLD was sucked, and then X sucked really like a lot actually because he just got like killed in a drive-by. That sucks so bad. Like just for like his
Yeah.
money. So
It was
yeah.
definitely weird to be like, dang, these guys will never release music. Well, I mean, Juice WRLD still release music, but it's not like
Dude, I hate posthumous
people making
music.
money.
I hate
them.
that. Has there ever been a
Yeah.
good posthumous song ever?
He had some good ones.
Posthumous?
Yeah, there were
Yeah.
some good ones that his
God.
family released.
I hate them, dude. Like I don't
Mac
know
Miller
why.
had some good ones too.
It's just like it's so weird listening to it because like you know the money's not going to like him anymore, and
Yeah.
It's going to his family that just lost him, man.
I know, but it just feels so weird when they don't release it themselves unless they like
That
plan.
and I feel like a lot of those guys almost kind of, and I can't say for sure, but I feel like at least one or two of them probably like didn't plan to die young, but like had something set up where if that ever happened, this is what they wanted. You know what I mean?
I think it's weird that people like
Like a
obviously
will
their
that
family
like that
gets money.
stated in a will.
Yeah, like hey, if I ever pass away young, like this goes to you. All my money that I make on these songs go to this person. Oh, here's all these unreleased ones that I never want to release, but if it needs to be, you know, you can release it type deal.
I think it's
Or
more
something
weird
in their
that like
contract.
they definitely like although the family gets the money, there's definitely somebody having to be like, we should release another album
Oh,
of Juice.
100%.
Like
Oh, yeah.
someone's like, we should. The fans just need it. It's just like people can make money off of it, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate.
There's definitely
That's what-
some like
that's the part that
crazy contracts that they have. I don't know, like with the record labels and stuff, to be able to do that.
Oh, for sure.
Never
Yeah.
gonna die, even if you do.
Oh yeah. I mean, what is it? I don't know if you guys are Bob Marley fans, but I listen to Bob Marley like every time it gets close to summer usually, and literally if you go to his like thing on Spotify, I don't know when he died, like 30 years ago, but there's been like 14 new albums and they're all just like remixes and remasters of all those songs. Like every single year there's a new one. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like someone's making money off of that. A lot of money off of that. Like there's literally like
That's
30
wild.
there's like 30 albums that are all the old songs but like barely changed like every single time and they just keep releasing them. Like every year at least.
That's funny. I don't think I've had a single. I don't think I've had a single person, like famous person, that bothered me when they died. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also just like I'm not close to them, so there's no like.
I don't. Yeah, I could honestly agree with that. I don't know if it was necessarily like I cared that Kobe died, but it was the fact that I viewed him as somebody that like was so in control of life, yet it didn't matter. He still lost his own life to something crazy, and it just, if anything, made me realize that life is fleeting.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's a good point. He was like 40 something.
I'm sorry, Sam. Why did you smirk after saying that, bro? I was like,
Because-
damn,
because
that's deep as hell.
Because after I said it, all I could think about is David Attenborough when like the penguins jump off the cliff, and he's like, "But alas, life is."
Dude, have you guys seen the nature documentary where Morgan Freeman voices it?
No.
No.
It's like a Nat Geo like nature thing, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, but it's Morgan Freeman doing the voice acting. So like, insert your best Morgan Freeman accent, and it's like, "And the gazelle strikes" or whatever. Like some
That's
shit like
awesome.
that, dude. Yes, you guys gotta listen to it. It's actually heat.
It's what he's made for. Is narrating anything,
Mm-hmm.
everything.
David Attenborough's better than him though. At narration,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who David Attenborough is.
he's the guy that does all the like Planet Earth documentaries.
Yeah, he like took his
I'd
job
have
for
to
it.
go
Dude.
see it.
He's good.
Like you know, like you ever watch anything about nature or like wildlife, and there's like some British guy commentating over it.
Okay.
That's David Attenborough.
That's
He's
him.
like so
Okay.
famous for that.
He does, yeah, because he has like a soothing. Yeah, it's hard. That's
Yeah.
hard.
Morgan Freeman's better
also-
for like movies.
Dude, he has the
I feel
most legendary voice of all
Like
time.
he's better for like human stuff, but David
Mhm.
Attenborough's better for like nature, in my opinion.
I could see that. That's a good. I like that call. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's also something else that happened, wasn't it? Did you send up? Oh, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
That's
Jake
right.
Paul
Oh,
versus.
dude, that's the
I sent
biggest
that
load
into
of
the
bullshit
chat.
ever. Did you see the stipulations on that?
What were the stipulations?
Well, for one,
I just saw that article.
Mike Tyson has to weigh in. Jake Paul doesn't. So Jake Paul could come in 20 pounds heavier if he wants. Jake Paul
That's
also
wild.
doesn't have to drug test, but Mike Tyson does. Uh, Oh, Jake Paul can choose to wear headgear if he wants, but Mike Tyson can't. And there's like a couple other things.
Wait, but isn't
That's
Mike
so
like?
crazy.
I
They're
mean,
like disabling a 65-year-old as much as
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
Which I guess I could understand because Mike Tyson's like
Mike
literally
Tyson.
could like probably kill him.
No way
Maybe
he
not
would
at this
go.
age.
No way he would go for it though, right? There's no way he wants to fight someone.
Well, it's
Anymore.
happening. It's signed. They
It's-
signed
no,
the
it is.
deal.
Wait,
It
I
is.
thought it was a maybe when I said that in. It's actually
no,
happening.
It is actually
It's gonna be on
happening.
Netflix. It's gonna be on Netflix,
Bro.
which is awesome because I have Netflix. You know, also, did you guys see the Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua fight?
I mean, we're hyped for the Jake Paul one.
Oh yeah, everybody is. And Ngannou fought Tyson Fury.
Oh, okay.
Most
Yeah.
people thought he actually won. It looked like he.
We
did
watched
win.
that, didn't we, together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he fought Anthony Joshua and got slammed. He got knocked out in the second round, clean.
Oof.
He got knocked out in the first one and then knocked out in the second one. But
Dude.
no, yeah, the Jake Paul fight versus Tyson. I mean, Jake Paul's boxed for like 6 years now, supposedly.
Dude, no way Mike Tyson can still box like that, right? I mean, how old
Have
is
you
Mike
seen videos
Tyson?
of him?
No, I haven't. Is he still like that
He
now?
looks. He's
How
like
old
that,
is he?
son.
How old is he?
It's Mike Tyson. He's one of the
How old
greatest
is he?
boxers of all
Yeah,
time.
Mike Tyson's a god.
Jamie, pull it up. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe pull it up. 65, 64, something like that.
I'm looking it up.
63.
57. Okay.
57. Okay. Yeah, I mean, but like, no, if you watch training videos of him, he's like, I don't know, he has a technique that nobody really like uses except for him. Like, he's the only one to really like perfect this technique and use it through all these years, and then.
The fight's also an amateur bout. It's not a professional one, and unlikely to be sanctioned as a professional due
Yeah, no
to
way.
Tyson's 58 years of age and Logan or Jake Paul's use of headgear cannot be
Dude.
considered a professional fight.
I feel like they should both have headgear at this point. Like,
Which is why Mike Tyson probably took it because he's getting paid a bag, and it doesn't affect any of his legacy other than like the normies that or casuals that don't know a thing about the difference between an amateur and a
so you think he's low on money? Is that why he's doing it?
Tyson. Probably, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got drug issues.
Could be low on money. I mean, he did fight. Did you see the Roy Jones Jr. fight?
They're also using 18-ounce gloves, which is not the standard.
That's big, right?
Yeah, 14
Yeah.
ounces, I think, is the standard.
Oh, okay. So this is like not even a boxing match.
This is just clickbait, bruh.
It's an exhibition. It's just for fun.
Yeah, Jake
This is-
Paul,
this
but
is clickbait.
but Mike Tyson has to have his like shoes tied together, and yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
57.
I
Mike
hope-
Tyson has to have.
That's
Who has
ridiculous.
sciatica and has to use like a wheelchair sometimes, and sometimes a fucking.
Yeah, can he even like walk straight?
Yeah,
Doesn't he
dude,
use like walking tools? Like he like to ambulate
Yep.
normally?
I'm pretty sure.
Dude, he's gonna go out.
So-
Dude, if Jake Paul gets his ass beat by Mike Tyson like wheeling out, dude, like there's no hope for Jake Paul, bro.
So,
There's
you know
no
Derek?
hope.
Do you know Derek Chisora?
No.
He's a British heavyweight boxer. He's
What about him?
He's pretty trusted.
Okay.
He's claiming and saying with 100% certainty, I know for a fact that, so this is the speculative part, but he's saying on his life, they're going to use 18-ounce gloves and they both will use headgear, and he's implying that the match would resemble a sparring session rather than actual boxing. And he's calling it a joke.
So it's just an
a fight.
expensive ass sparring.
If
match.
he's right about that. But I do know that headgear could be used. That's in the contract clause.
Mm,
But the other stuff's speculative.
okay.
Well, did you guys watch the Roy Jones Jr. versus Mike Tyson?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Yeah.
Yes.
So those who don't know, Roy Jones Jr. very good boxer. He had like 3 different titles.
How
He was
long
like
ago
a
was this?
heavyweight. He was like a light heavyweight like 6 years ago, and he's also like 50.
Okay.
He's
Yeah,
old
that
now.
was, I mean, those were two real. They were both real fighters. Those guys.
Yeah, obviously Mike Tyson like prime versus Jones Jr. Jones Jr. is not gonna win, but
Yeah.
Jones Jr. was like legit. He was very good. He was insane.
Yeah, he was a boxer.
No, he was legit, like insane. So, but then you watch them fight even like a couple years ago, and like
Mike
it's
still got
like
it.
Roy Jones Jr. is kind of like having fun with it, and like they kind of did like an exhibition bout like this, and he's kind of like just there to make the money. And then like Mike Tyson is actually like low key trying to like n- sort of, but not really knock him out.
He was like holding back on some of his punches, I swear. If
Yeah,
I'm
he
remembering
was. I'm
correctly.
sure. I'm sure he
Dude,
didn't want to like. He doesn't want to hurt him, but like at the
Yeah.
same time, it was a definite like Mike Tyson would fuck him up. Like it was very easy to like. Everybody was like, this is pretty obvious. If they did go
Yeah.
hard, who would win?
The
hmm
sad thing is that the sport of boxing, I think, has just become a complete and utter joke.
it's become clickbait. It's become
I
TikTok.
mean, it is a complete joke. Boxing,
Obsolete to UFC.
hmm
UFC is real
So much better.
deal, and I think that's why boxing is doing what it's doing because they have to compete with the UFC now, and they can't. So now they're just making up these bullshit what if fights. Oh yeah, let's get Jake Paul, the Disney star, who no one likes but everyone hates. And let's get him to fight one of the most loved boxers of all time, or hated. Some people didn't like Tyson, but like one of the all-time greats.
Oh, I thought you were
But
saying
guess
Jake
what?
Paul is the most loved boxer
Oh
of
no,
all
no, no.
time.
But Tyson's 60. Like that sounds like a great fight to me. No, it
Dude,
doesn't. It sounds like you don't have any respect for what boxing used to be.
it sounds like a bad
That's what it
idea
sounds.
to me, to be honest. It sounds like a risk for Mike Tyson. Like you
No,
say what you
it's not a
want,
bad
dude.
idea. They wouldn't do it if they felt like Tyson could
I
die.
I
They wouldn't.
know,
Tyson, like they wouldn't.
but
Well,
Jake Paul's a young athletic man who can throw a punch. You know what
Yes,
I'm
but
saying?
think about what I
And when you're
just.
almost 60 years old,
Yeah, I understand, Hoss, but think about what I just said. If you agree with what I just said, then you would agree that there's no risk to Tyson other
okay,
than some
yeah.
insane fluke. Because the whole point they're doing it is because boxing's trying to get traction. The last thing they need is bad PR.
But isn't this like not outside of like this is like outside of normal boxing? Like there's like overcompassing like all of boxing, but then there's like the main official boxing, right? Like all these like creator fights we
Yeah,
see
but
are all just like
it's
random events, right? Like it's not actual boxing.
they're sponsored though by like all the other brands that sponsor the same
Oh,
boxing.
okay.
So
Yeah.
basically, it's canon, for
it's
lack
it's
of a better
boxing.
word.
It's like
Yeah.
it's boxing. So everybody's like, oh, this is a
It's
boxing match. So
boxing
it brings
match.
Yeah.
eyes to boxing. So
Yeah.
anything that brings eyes to the sport of boxing is all like they
Like
matter
you'd be
about.
ignorant to think that. Well, and I don't even
Do you
know
think it
the
would bring
league,
eyes
but
though?
like whatever the
Yeah.
equivalent of the UFC is to boxing, you'd be ignorant to think that they aren't somehow involved in the making of all these like clickbait fights. They 100% are
Like
involved in some
Bellator?
capacity. Yeah.
Well, dude, there's like no clickbait UFC fights. I would love to see that. Like, I would like just like some demon ideas in my mind. I don't even know like what I would do. Like Keemstar versus like Mike Tyson or just some
See,
stupid stuff
that's
like
the
that.
thing too. Is
Like, I
like
want to see some
I
insane
wish it was.
fights.
I wish it was flipped, to be honest. And the UFC's great how it is, but I wish boxing was super serious, just
hmm
because it's not fun watching the clickbait. But watching two guys like go at it, there's like little to no rules, and like they can go to the ground and like skull fuck each
Yeah,
other
that's
and
true.
shit. Like if there was like
hmm
clickbait for that, that would be entertaining.
That would
Because
be
you'd see
so
somebody take a knee
entertaining.
to the jaw, hammer punch in the back of the
hmm
head, like crazy shit. It'd be good.
Dude,
But
what's that?
nobody's gonna
And,
do it because boxing is just your hands. That's where you
yeah,
actually get messed up. Is
I
when you
mean,
encompass
yeah,
everything.
mhm.
That's when you get
yeah.
messed up really badly.
The one fight that got ultra clickbaited that never happened was like the Zuck versus Elon Musk fight. Dude,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
that would have been actually fucking insane. And they said they were gonna do it in the Roman Coliseum, bro. Dude,
Elon Musk is the one that left.
challenge or no, he left. Yeah, cause
Yeah,
Zuckerberg can like he like takes
he
boxing lessons
dropped
every
out.
week, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Zuck actually got pretty good.
Yeah,
Low
he won
key.
he won jujitsu tournaments.
Yeah. Whereas Elon just dropped out and
Oh,
got
dude, I
fatter.
would have loved to see Elon just get lit up by Zuckerberg. I can't lie. Like, I don't really
Everyone,
or dislike Elon Musk, but dude, I would love to see him get lit up.
dude, it would have been a bad look for Zuckerberg to win though, because then everyone would have been like, "Yep, he's an alien for sure. No way he's that good."
Dude, what if like that's how we found out he was an alien? Like Musk lands like one punch on him and his like skin slides back and you see like green reptile underneath him,
Oh God.
dude. What do you think would happen if that like happened? Like what would like Twitter would
Um,
implode.
I think we'd all be dead because if he say he was an
Oh,
alien,
he just
right?
pulls a Homelander, just destroys the crowd.
Yeah, or like he'd call in all his cronies that are like hiding, like all his sleeper agent cronies in the United States that are all hiding, and they'd all come out of the woodwork and kill everybody else too.
Hmm.
Because once the cat's out of the bag,
It's
like
Jover. It's
he
Jover.
doesn't need to hold back anymore. You know what I mean? So he might as
Hmm.
well.
Might as well destroy the entire
Yeah,
human
because
race.
no way there's an
Just
alien
because
living
must.
amongst us. Like, oh yeah, he defected his super futuristic home world and came here to like hide amongst us. The only other explanation would be because he's hiding and waiting for the perfect time to strike,
Mm.
in my opinion.
They
Hmm.
made Facebook.
Yeah, so he made Facebook
They
and
made
distracted us
Facebook.
all from the real
Dude,
problems of the world.
I don't really like Zuckerberg either, but I love The Social Network, the movie about him. Dude, that movie's gas. Have y'all ever
I
watched it?
haven't seen it. Nope.
Bro, you should watch it. It's like a dramatic like retelling of how Facebook was made at Harvard,
A
and
docudrama?
yeah, it's like a docudrama kind of, but not really. It's more just a drama,
I've seen
and it
clips.
talks about it. But dude, it's crazy. Like I don't really know if it's real or not, but if it's real, he like fucked over his friends so bad. Like he did them so dirty. But
Probably is
Right,
real.
no, he stole the idea. That's like
yeah,
proven.
one he sold the idea, but the other one he had this guy that was like they were gonna split it, and
Yeah.
he like kicked him out, and he made him sign. Like he like had like 30% of the company or whatever, and he like signed all this stuff. But then like they did a bunch of stuff with stocks I didn't understand where they like made like way more of them. So like or something like that. So he actually had like less than 1% of the company. So then he like had no money. So they tried to sue him, but they couldn't sue him. So then it's like the biggest like L ever. But yeah.
Yep.
Feels bad.
Seems about
They
right.
probably did like a stock split or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was some like super shady business, and he knew about it, and then yeah, or he didn't know about it, and then he signed it. Such an L.
And now he's just here to help us. He just wants to make Facebook. He just wants everybody to connect on Facebook.
Hmm.
That's all he wants. He just wants everybody to be happy and see each other.
I know.
Yeah, even though both of his two social media fucking apps are riddled with like porn bots and shit.
Porn bots,
Dude, I got on
Scams.
Facebook.
propaganda.
It was so crazy. I got on
That
Facebook for Facebook Marketplace, and that's all I saw was just fucking Ice Spice's ass.
yeah.
Really?
That and
Yes,
like
I just put out
the
mail.
the security on Facebook's horrible. Like once a week I'll get on Facebook just to see what's going on.
I don't even
I don't
have
know
it.
why. Don't ask me
Mhm.
why I do that, but I'll see like,
I
oh,
see
this
Ice
person
Spice.
got hacked. Like
Mhm.
any one of my friends, they're like hacked on Facebook and they're getting like tagged or they're like posting like porn to their account and they just don't even realize it. And I'm like,
It's
what is going
legit.
on? This is like the most dead social media app I've ever seen. I don't know. The UI sucks. Everything sucks about
Well,
it.
dude, a lot of people in like all the people I know from Guatemala, they all use Facebook, and they make like a new account every single week. I don't know if they don't write down their passwords or whatever, but like I've been added, and they like add my like mom and like people that I know that don't even go down there. They just like click on my
Yeah.
profile, look at my friends, and then like add someone, and they all have like 18 different accounts, so their numbers have to be so inflated, like of like all their statistics and stuff, and all the bots. Like I
Oh,
don't
for
even
sure.
know
Yep.
what percentage of all accounts do you think are being like primary accounts by one person compared to bots? Do you think it's like 70% and then 30% bots, or is it like way
On
less than
Facebook
that?
or what?
Just like in general on like a normal social media. Maybe we can say Facebook or like Instagram. What do you guys
I don't
think?
know. You
Like you think
look
it's
at Instagrams. Like look at like
comments?
I don't know. Look at The Rock. The Rock has like what hundreds of millions of followers, and he probably gets like a million likes.
Mhm.
I
That's
don't know. I
true.
feel like that's not very accurate.
I've
Same thing
never
with like
seen that
Ronaldo.
statistic though. Do you think they know that statistic?
Well,
Like,
you also gotta keep in consideration, like a lot of people on social media are just considered lurkers. They don't engage in any of the content, but they
yeah.
look at it all. So
Very true.
like ratio isn't necessarily a fair way to assess that. But I'm sure like if he has 100 million followers, like
At least five.
10%,
Yeah.
5% of them aren't active followers at least. They might not be bots, but they're not active accounts anymore.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or like someone has their main account, but they have five other random fake
Mhm.
accounts and they follow The Rock on all of them. So really, that's only one true, real person following them. But he has five accounts following him under one person's umbrella.
Mhm. I'm an ultra lurker myself. I can't lie. I actually like only lurk. Like
Like
Twitch
Yeah.
streams, everything.
he has like 300 97 million
Mm,
um,
Jesus.
followers. And then he has like one picture from like 6 days ago. It's like 1.2 million likes. One from 6 hours ago with Bad Bunny, and that one's got 1.3
Okay,
million likes.
I can't lie. It's not even a really hot take to you guys or to anyone, but I kind of like do not like The Rock anymore. He just
Oh, I
seems
don't
like
either.
I don't
like
like him, and I don't
dude.
like Kevin
I
Hart.
okay. Anyways, I hate The Rock in
Yep,
every
I don't like
movie.
Kevin
He
Hart either.
sucks at acting. He sucks at acting so bad. I'm not saying I
Yep.
could do better, but in the realm of every movie I've ever watched, he
He,
sucks at acting. He only plays
it's because he
himself.
plays himself. Yeah, he
Yeah,
plays
he only
The
plays
Rock.
himself. He.
It makes no sense. It just
Oh my
completely takes me
god.
out of the movie. It's like, oh yeah, here's a new movie for y'all. You start watching, it's good, and all of a sudden The
The
Rock shows
Rock's
up,
in it,
and
and you're
you're
just
like,
like,
oh, you're like, oh, what's his character? The Rock.
it's Dwayne.
The
It's Dwayne
shoulder
every
where he
time.
goes like, he
Yeah,
just
like
has to
dude,
raise his eyebrow at some point in
Jurassic,
time.
or not Jurassic, Jumanji. That
Jumanji.
shit was ass, and Kevin Hart's another reason why it was so damn bad.
God, they're so bad.
Kevin Hart, I low key think might be one of the worst comedians of all time.
He's
Not because
no, he's a psyop. He's a psyop. Cat Williams said it. He's a psyop. I swear to
he
God.
low key could be. I could believe
Like
that.
he is a plant. I don't believe in plants, but he is a plant.
I believe in
But
plants. Dude, have you heard Ice Spice's music? Cannot be this.
No, Ice Spice music's alright.
No, it's not. No, it is not.
Dude,
it's
what
not
do you?
good.
Are-
It's
It
not
is
good.
so ass.
No, no,
It
but
is
no,
so
but
ass.
there's
Alright,
no,
Ice
alright,
Spice is a
no,
plant.
no.
Take
She's
a
not a
pause-
plant.
Take a breather.
Wait,
Hang on,
wait,
hang on.
wait.
Take a breather.
I will
Take a
die on
pause.
this.
Wait, let him
We'll
finish.
talk
Let him finish, and then we'll
we'll
get back to
talk
her being a
about-
plant.
We'll talk about Ice Spice in a second. Let's stay on
Let's go back
topic
to the
with
Rock.
Kevin
Let's,
Hart
yeah,
for a
yeah,
second.
and Kevin Hart.
Kevin
Okay,
Hart.
1 second. Yeah.
Kevin Hart may be a psyop. He may be an industry plant, but let's say he's not for a second.
Okay.
He gets popular. He
Mhm.
tells all his jokes. Well, guess what? He ran out, and he lacks the creative ability.
He ran out.
He did. He used up all his
He
jokes.
used up all the
And
funny.
now the bullshit his writers and himself comes up with is got to be the least funny pile of dog shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
There's no more ice
So-
left. There's
So
no more
say
ice
he's
left.
not a government plant. Well, he's just a shit comedian because he couldn't keep it going. A good comedian keeps going after his
Mhm.
big hits.
Till
And
the
Kevin
day
Hart
they
wasn't
die.
capable.
I don't
Kevin
like
Hart
Kevin
wasn't
Hart
capable.
now because my brother showed me a video where they're on a private jet, and I guess he had too much to drink, and they were getting
Mhm.
heated over a poker game or something, betting cards, and he was shitting on his personal trainer, like, you got a house? He kept asking him, does he have a house? His personal trainer doesn't have a house because he flies everywhere with fucking Kevin Hart. And he's basically like, if you didn't have me, would you have money? And his personal trainer was like, yes. Like, his personal trainer, I'm pretty sure, was an NFL player and trains. So he would have money regardless of Kevin
That's
Hart.
just weird.
But it's very shitty to be like, would you be here without me? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't have
Yeah.
money. You don't even have a house.
He's
What-
basically
like,
saying he made him.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's very shitty.
Another reason why Kevin Hart's so ass, and I hope he's listening to this because this should
He's
be a wake up
not.
call for you, buddy.
He's
You're
listening.
Kevin Hart.
Listen right here.
You are a fucking sellout.
Mr. Hart.
I couldn't tell you how many times I'm looking at social media, watching YouTube, anything, and it's like Kevin Hart laid back on the couch. Did you hear about FanDuel? Like trying to get you to sign up for some MGM bets or something like
We're
that.
cooked.
Like,
We're cooked.
or Fabletics. It's like a complete lie. He's like, oh, I accidentally set the price to whatever, and now I'm gonna get in trouble. You guys better go buy it. Like he just signs up and promotes anything. I swear he doesn't use the product.
Kevin Hart has one funny joke, and it's not even that funny. Like of all the stuff I've watched, he had like one joke that I laughed at of like his millions of content, and I hate it. But anyways,
I
back
used to like some of his jokes.
back to the
Yeah, he
Rock.
used to be funny to me.
I
but
think some
not
of his
anymore.
old jokes are good.
Back to the
Not
Rock
anymore.
1 second. Dude, the Rock is literally a walking ad. He cannot do anything without promoting something. That man is like it's so deep in his bag of like sponsorships. It is so annoying to even look at him.
Did you
Dude,
hear him on
he
the Joe Rogan
ruined-
podcast?
I know I did. I refused to watch it. I'm
The
sure it's
Shazam shit was awful.
Dude, he
When
ruined the movie
promoted
because he refused to
Shazam.
play the villain or something, and he like ruined
Yeah.
like I don't even like that shit. I don't even care about that movie. But just hearing that made me piss me off. I can't lie.
But
Yeah.
he went on a whole promotion like tear.
Oh my
He was
god.
like a serial promoter for
Dude.
Shazam. I get he was in it, but like
It's so
after
annoying.
every question you get asked, he'd be like, "Hey, and Shazam, it's coming out
Ugh.
March 18th or whatever. You should go watch it."
The Joe Rogan podcast with him, was so like inauthentic. The only
He's not real.
part,
He's not a real
the,
person.
Yeah, he's a skinwalker.
He's actually not
only-
real. He's an ad.
the only part that was good was when he talked about the WWE, just because it was like you
This
could
is
clearly
past.
tell it's in his family. He obviously loved it and he cares about it. That's the only thing. But then like they would talk about like for Hawaii situation, dude, it was basically like any Joe Rogan would bring up a hot topic, then he would be like, "What do you think?" And then Joe Rogan would say what he thinks, and The Rock would just try to either regurgitate what he just said in like the most basic fundamental answer
Mhm.
that everybody can get along with, or if he went first, he was like, I
Dude,
just
no,
love them.
he's
I just love
so.
them. I just love them. And then he'd wait for Joe Rogan to be like, I agree. I 100%
Mhm.
agree. He just agreed with everything. It was horrible. It was the worst
He's
podcast.
he's too likable. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at him and he doesn't have an actual like answer or like he's just like a yes man in the highest level. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, he has no morals.
It's just like his
That's what it
online
is.
persona.
He stands on nothing. He has no morals. Anyway, he
Oh
can
my
be
gosh,
liked
you're
by
going at him.
everybody. That's how that works. You
He
have to
doesn't
have
flinch at genocide.
Yeah.
doesn't flinch at genocide.
That's
No,
what I thought
but
he
like
was
he
doing.
has no like if you had to be like, do you believe in this or do you believe in that? And it's 50-50 in the country. He's gonna be like, I just want peace and love in the world. That's all I want. I just want everybody to be on the same page. It's like that's not the fucking answer, dipshit. You gotta say this. Just say what you believe. He's not gonna say what he believes because it's gonna get away from fans. And he's gonna lose fans that way.
If-
So he just doesn't have any moral status. He just goes with whatever is gonna give him the most yeses and
He's
thank
like
yous and
he's
He's
like
a
That's exactly how it
sellout.
works.
He's a sellout.
He's a
Simple
sellout.
as that.
He's like Rob DeSantis, but instead of his answer being Florida for everything, it's the ad that he's working on. Like, actually, have you guys seen any?
Alright, back to Ice Spice.
Okay,
Ice
okay,
Spice
but
is a
let me
Ice
say-
Spice-
DeSantis? Do you mean DeSantis?
Oh my
The
god,
Gordon White.
dude, I
or
don't know.
the Satan?
The
You
Satan,
mean
the
the
meatball.
meatball?
Dude,
The
that was hilarious. Anyways, Gaten,
Yeah.
Ice Spice is not an industry plant, bro.
Let me read off some
her
lyrics real
music's
fast.
ass. Her music.
No,
You think
no,
you the shit.
okay.
That's what the song's called. You think you the shit. All right, let me go ahead and say something.
Dude, that song's amazing.
You think you the shit, bitch?
Bitch, you not
You're
even the
a
fart. I love
be
that
going
song.
hard. I'm breaking their hearts. Like bitches be quick, but I'm quicker.
Uh,
Bitches be thick,
uh,
but I'm thicker.
but I'm
She
thicker.
could be rich.
He's
but
not
I'm
thick
richer.
either.
Taking her man.
Okay, Gaten,
Don't give a
Gaten.
fuck. Out in the yams,
There's
and I'm keeping one tucked.
there's
I'm
so
making
many
some
pop
jams.
stars with.
The fuck
default.
is this, dude? This is like I could make up this.
Yes,
in
you
high
could,
school.
but you didn't.
Unlock that advance. You know why? Because she's a plant. Somebody
Okay,
else did it
listen,
for her.
listen.
Have you seen her? Have you
Okay.
seen her like her performing? And you look, and they would show the crowd in the very beginning. Obviously, now she's got some fans because you just throw. somebody
Yeah,
out long
she
enough,
just
but
like
they
sits
would
up on
show
stage
her
and twerks.
on stage, and they would show her fans. Nobody would be saying the words. Nobody would be saying anything.
Because
It
they
was
only
like
do
they
like
were
3
given a
TikTok
free ticket,
songs.
and they were paid to be there. That's what it
Dude,
looked like.
I don't know.
It's
Okay.
she has, dude. You cannot tell me that has 24.8 million views.
Dude, yes, it's on my
monthly.
TikTok. I scroll my TikTok and it's
Alright.
all my TikTok. The listens.
I'll say this.
Let me say one thing.
She's a plant. She's basic. She's
Okay,
a
I'm
nothing.
saying that she's not a plant
shake
because
the
I
booty. Shaking the booty.
I understand that you think her music's bad, but there is a big genre of girl rappers that all kind of sound like that. So it's not
She's
like
a plant.
they're all kind of the same. Like there's like Megan Thee Stallion and they all kind of sound like that.
I'll
she's,
say this.
she's a plant.
They're
I'll
all
say this.
plants?
At least Megan Thee Stallion at least had better
Gentlemen,
lyrics than that.
Gentlemen. It comes
not even
down
rapping.
to 3 simple things that you must keep in mind. 3.
Mhm.
3 of them. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty for God and my country. Now that I have your attention,
Go ahead.
sorry. It comes down to the fact that 1, yes, Gaten, her music's terrible. 2, yeah, she could be an industry plant. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I don't also agree. But the reason and the explanation behind that clip that you saw where no one was singing the lyrics and it looked like they'd all been paid to be there, right? Is because yes, her music is shit, but people are going there because they're memeing on her and she's trendy. And they want to say, "Oh yeah, I went
She's
to an Ice
TikTok
Spice
music.
concert." Because yeah, it's TikTok brained people, which that isn't you, so that's why you're not wrapping your head around it. Because they don't spend 30 minutes a day off their phone.
They don't. They don't.
Does that?
They
Hey,
don't.
but doesn't that make even more sense? That
Yeah,
it
so
would
that's
be that it would it just if there's
Okay,
anything
I
that
Spice
just funded
listeners-
the conspiracy that
No,
she's
no,
a
no,
plant.
but
Thank
I
you,
so, yeah,
Spice
'cause that was
listeners,
that was
don't
so
go
good
outside.
backing me up. Because
No,
if
so
anything,
that's
it's
what
like
I'm saying.
let's
That's
just throw her stuff on TikTok.
yeah, and TikTok brain people watch it, but what I'm saying is that people do listen to her, just not for the reasons that you're trying to wrap your head around. They listen
Not
to her because she's a
24.8,
meme.
dude. Not
They're listening.
24.8 million.
Yeah, they are, and that's because our world is doomed, Gated.
It's
Not
doomed. It's
not a,
doomed.
not a,
I
there's
would
you know how many
agree.
you know how many people out there are TikTok brain and they don't like think for themselves and blah 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 blah. All those people went to Ice Spice and paid good money probably to watch her so they could post on their story, post on their TikTok of them fake lip syncing. You think I'm the shit, bitch?
You think
You're not even a fart or whatever the
You're
fuck
not
the
a
words
fart,
are.
Gated. Gated, you might not be
So-
a fart.
he's a munch?
It's more about 'cause you gotta think how society's going right now, Gaten. It's everyone's
Dude,
trying
it's
to
going
keep up.
downhill.
Yeah, it is, but everyone's trying to keep up with the Joneses, you know. Oh, I went to Megan the Stallion last week. Well, then my friend over here is gonna try to one up me and say, "Well, guess what?
I was
I'm
at
a
Ice
munch.
Spice.
I
It's
went
the,
to Ice
it's the
Spice,
Chinese.
and
That's what's doing it.
and guess what? I posted it. Simple as that.
Okay,
It's the Chinese. They're
Gated.
That's
pushing,
why-
they're pushing Ice
that's
Spice
the-
on TikTok so we can have brain dead kids.
That's
Ga-
the explanation behind 24.8 million listeners because of that.
How do you feel
Jackson
about
would
how do you
listen to Ice
feel
Spice.
how do you feel about these lyrics? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Take that, rewind it back. Little John got the beat to make the booty go. Take that, rewind it back. Usher got the voice to make the booty go. And then yeah, yeah,
You want me to
yeah.
explain that? I
yeah,
got you.
yeah.
I can tell you how that makes way more sense than the
banger
Ice
right
Spice
there.
shit does. You want to know how? You
Uh-huh.
want to know how? Because the whole idea is that it's a club song.
Yep.
And that's
Dude, is Ice
before
Spice not a
social
club
media-
song?
That's before social media is massive.
Yep. That's a club banger. Gaden's on point with
Think
that.
about
though,
that.
Hoss.
That's
Club
before.
bangers
No,
aren't
no, no.
about lyrics. It's about
Not even
the
a.
beat.
It's.
Do they
yeah,
not
it's
play Ice
literally
Spice
about
in the
entire
clubs?
thing. No. Listen, it's before social media is how it is now. That's what the point is. So
I just don't
there's
think
no
she's a
way for that
plant.
to be pushed. There's no way for that to be pushed like how it is now. Now they can literally just choose somebody, be like you
And then
fit the
push their
mold.
music.
You're a woman. You have a big booty, big titty. All right, we good?
You have a
check that.
ginger afro.
You're black. That's pretty good. We need that. So then all of a sudden now we're matching. We're getting under this umbrella of things that we need. We need you to be. You can't. White people are super oppressive. So we can't have you being white. So now we got it. Now we're just gonna have someone push the lyrics for you, and then obviously now, as we just said, Facebook is basically pornography. That's basically what Facebook is. So like I said, I saw Ice Spice at least 15 times in the span of using Facebook 5. I saw her every single time I got on Facebook. I'm so serious. And it was at least three pictures of
Have
her.
you thought about it? It might be because you've been listening to her in your phone.
Oh, dude,
All right,
because-
well here I have a
what I'm
counterpoint to
saying.
Hoss. This is TikTok era, Roddy Rich. Had to put the stick in a box. Or the whole damn still. I'ma get lazy. I got the mojo deals. We've been trapping like the 80s. That's a decent bar. But then he
that
goes,
song's catchy as hell though.
but then he says, she sucked a neighbor's soul. And then right as soon as he says soul, he goes, got a cash app. That's stupid. What does that
Dude,
even
okay,
mean?
but listen, Ice Spice is not making like sit down and cry because your mom just died in music. She's making like poppy music, and that's what's popular.
Who cares? She sucks
But
ass.
no, I don't think she's that good either. But I'm just saying that she's
I
not
don't know,
a plant.
You just talked like you were a munch for a little bit.
Dude, maybe I'm a
You
munch.
sounded like one of those guys who went to those concerts.
Gabe's
Dude.
crying because it's so funny.
So dumb. I can't believe you're even defending Ice
Dude,
Spice.
I'm not
You
defending
were
Ice
part of
Spice.
the reason why this country's going downhill.
Dude, you're
I
not a
can't believe
munch.
you little TikTok munchkin who just sits on there. You barely.
Dude.
You are truly a cave dweller.
Dude, I've told you this. I'm just saying she's not a plant because that music's popular. That kind. Are you saying all
she's a
of
plant.
those girls are all
Okay.
plants?
Well, here, this
You
is
not
the
think-
question we must ask ourselves, gentlemen, and that is, or really, this is the question we must ask Haas, Gade. Do you
Gosh,
believe in plants in general? Do you think there's ever been a human that was an
Absolutely.
industry plant?
Absolutely.
Because if the answer is no, then we're done with this topic. Because there's no way to convince you that she's a plant if you don't believe that plants have ever been a thing. So I
Kevin-
ask
You
you,
have to.
Haas.
You have to be.
Kevin Hart is a plant.
Okay,
I
so
believe.
he believes in
and
plants.
so
yeah.
what's
Yeah.
different from Kevin Hart versus now?
Well,
Ice
Yeah,
Spice?
what makes
Well-
you think Ice Spice is so? Her foundation is just
oh,
so awesome. and she's
just
so good.
just because
Kevin Hart's
that
better,
kind of
way better
music
comedy
has been
than Ice Spice is good at music.
just because that's been a popular brand of music for a while. That like city girl kind of music. I think it's popular. She's not doing anything new.
Mm.
That's
You
why I don't
that
think she's
could
a
possibly
plant.
You think that could possibly be pushed by social media companies that potentially have millions of bots on there?
I mean, do you just think all those girls are plants though? Because like I don't think she's any
Think-
different. I don't think she's any different than any of the other like city girls. And girls actually like listening to that
What?
music.
Whoa. Let's take a step back. What do you mean by city girl genre?
Like you know what I mean?
I don't. It sounds
Okay.
a little racially motivated, to be honest.
No,
Not
they
very
literally.
much.
There's
urban-
literally a band called the City Girls. There's like Megan the
Yeah,
Stallion. there's
that's different.
all of them.
That's different. Ice Spice doesn't fall underneath that umbrella. What
I
do you
don't
mean
know.
by
She
city
doesn't fall
girl?
under-
If
the
you go
the
on
umbrella.
Spotify and look up City Girls like playlist, I think she would be in the playlist. Let me look it up right now. I'm just looking up City Girl playlist on Spotify.
You sound a little ignorant, son.
Pussy Talk is the first song. City Girls and Doja Cat.
Okay, well, that's Doja Cat, different.
My,
Cat also sold her soul. Basically, she's like satanic.
yes, she's right there. Rico Nasty, Ice Spice.
All right,
Alright,
how about this?
Well, you saved yourself
Jackson?
from the allegations today, sir.
Sid,
Mhm.
do you think that it's really like I don't know? You think it happens to just be like, oh, wow, this whole genre of women just rapping about their bodies and just being super sexual, it just happens to be a possible thing that just came about its own.
Yeah,
You think that just happened
Yeah.
by itself?
yeah. Nicki Minaj started it, right?
Yeah, and then it died. for
I'd say
years.
Beyonce kind of started. that
Beyonce,
move
Nicki
that way.
Minaj. There's been so many people. That's I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, and guess what? Far and few between. Now all of a sudden we got what? We got Sexy Red. We got
Yeah, because
Ice,
that's how it
Shit
works.
Spice.
Did we not just talk
got
about how?
fucking-
Did we not just talk about how Toriyama influenced all the mangas that made all the other mangas? That made all the other mangas. It's how trees work. It's how things work. You know what I'm saying? People influence people who influence people. It's how
Really,
everything
it comes
works.
down.
Yes,
Gaten,
but I
it
don't
comes
think.
down to the fact
do you
that we're
mean?
straying away from God's will, though. Really, because a lot of people are
I would
super
agree with
like
that, yeah.
sick and nasty, and like all they care about is physical appearance and stuff, and that's what sells right now. You can't deny
People
that.
People think they
And
have.
so that probably explains why she's popular.
People think there's multiple pronouns. People think they could be a they. People think they could be a woman when they're a man. People think they could be a sheep when they're a human being. I mean, we're already going down. That's like
Yeah, so
way
then
further.
I think you've explained it for yourself then that maybe she is an industry plant, but she's just selling exactly what everyone wants to buy right now.
I just think the reason why I say industry plant is because I think social media pushes specific things so that it is obviously popular.
And
Therefore, it's planted. Therefore,
I'll-
it's pushed harder than everything else. That's
So
pretty
you're saying
obvious.
she doesn't know she's an industry plant? Is that what you're saying? You're saying that like
No, she would definitely.
No,
she
no,
would
no.
definitely.
Oh, okay.
absolutely-
indirectly,
I thought you were
indirectly
saying-
she knows for sure. And I'll say this: I think she probably does know because no one in the right mind would say, "Yeah, this is the type of music I want to create." Her label is telling her this is what's going to be good for her.
I don't know. I think people would like.
She
to create
doesn't
that
write her
music.
own music. Who's writing?
Don't
it
tell
for her?
me. You're telling me the label isn't like. Are you?
Oh, I
refuting
think
that
they-
the label is
Yeah.
No,
like,
I'm saying the
pushing
label
her
influences-
music in one way.
Oh, they're
'Cause the
always
label's
advertising.
most
The
definitely.
label's job is to advertise the music.
Yeah, so she's doing it because she's a
So
sellout. She
you could
wants
argue
money and fame,
you could
and the
argue
label's
that
telling her what to sing.
so
Boom.
you could argue that anyone
Industry
that's
plant.
on a label is a plant.
Yeah, because
Oh,
they're not in
then I
control.
agree.
They're not.
If we're all
They're
plant,
not. In,
if any
no,
artist
no,
is
no.
on a, then they're a plant.
No. There's a difference.
Is
Though,
using
because
advertising being a plant?
there's a difference because Ice
What's
Spice
the
didn't
difference?
have a come up before she signed with a label ever.
Do we know this? Because I don't know that. Are
I
we
mean,
sure?
I'm just
You're saying
okay.
one day she just
Let's
had a
fact.
label and then
Let's fact check that. Fact check her history before she blew up. Was she
okay
ever like doing
history.
shit like making
Okay,
music on TikTok for herself or
I'm
anything
looking.
like that?
Ice
Because if she wasn't,
Spice.
then she's most definitely an industry plant by her label that is pushing an agenda of music that definitely is perverted and sells
Okay,
to
so
the majority of
in
people.
I think she could
it's
have made
saying on
YouTube.
her
I think she could have made YouTube content, and then all of it. She made a
on
song.
her
a month, whatever song.
Wikipedia.
She made that song. I think it was looked at, and people were like, "That's actually exactly what we kind of want right now." So they grabbed it, pulled it on over, and they were like, "We can help you even get further if you just listen to us." That's how that goes.
All right,
You
well,
can start off doing it and not make any views or barely make any views, or you can have one song. Obviously, it's the internet, but
well,
that doesn't change that she gets to the point she is now. She does not get there without
I
being
revoke my
pushed.
statement. I revoke my statement because she wrote Munch independently. I just found this
Yeah,
out.
she wrote Munch independently,
partnered-
posted it on TikTok, and then partnered with Capitol Records later that year.
Well, it's the Create Music Group,
Yeah.
technically, but Capitol Records is under their umbrella.
I don't doubt that she
So-
wrote that she did
so-
that. She started
so-
off by herself, but she was definitely the way she is now.
That's like her most
projected,
popular
like,
song,
pushed.
though.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So she wrote
It's
that
not
on
her
her
most
own,
streamed though.
but now, and this is all like speculation because we don't know truly, but one could speculate that now that she is signed under her label, they're writing music that fits their agenda more so than whatever she was intending. Because as she released
Yeah, but
Munch,
their
and that's a
agenda is just to
raunchy
make as
song.
much money as possible. That's their agenda. Is re-listens
Yeah,
and plays.
and with that is the underlying agenda of what sells right now. Well, the perverted bullshit that America is eating up. And then that directly correlates with political alignment
Nah,
and so on.
I
and so on.
definitely don't think anybody's
so-
writing the lyrics for her, dog. They're pretty ass. If someone's helping her write her lyrics, they need to fire
Well,
the
someone
entire label.
someone definitely is because she's
But
on a
I'm saying,
label.
but lyrics like for any song, any other artist, lyrics don't have to be insane. They'd have to be catchy if you're looking for a banger. You know what I'm saying? And she has like catchy lyrics that people like.
You're not even a pop. Yeah.
You're saying
think
it
I
right
love
now.
it,
It's funny.
bitch?
Yeah, it's retarded. But,
But
I
I've
listen to
seen
it.
like a lot of stuff that blows up on TikTok that like people just like push. That's not TikTok doing it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
It definitely. I don't know.
Like,
You
I've
don't
seen
think-
like
you
I've
don't-
seen
alright,
I've
look,
seen
if
like
you don't think
independent artists.
TikTok's pushing stuff, then I can't help you. You're just
Oh no,
you're in your own little
because
bubble
the
of
al-
liberalism.
because the algorithm's pushing it. That is indirectly TikTok pushing it. Now, why is it pushing that? You'd have to look into how the algorithm's designed. But at the end of the day, the algorithm sees. So let's say when Ice Spice first posted Munch, it saw a lot of like impressions were being made on her video, engagement, and it said, all right, well, let's push this a bunch. And then at a certain point, once it got enough engagement, someone at TikTok definitely saw and got alerted of this and then reviewed it and then pushed it even more.
And that's just
So
how
TikTok
like
definitely played
everything
a role.
works. Though. That's how social media works.
Yeah, I don't think
I
any of
just
us are
think I just
disagreeing
think
on that.
I think for in order for you to be like an actual plant, you have to be like someone that just was no solo stuff at all, and then then you're like automatically like on top of the game, like just like the next day. You know what I'm
Kevin
saying?
Hart's
That's
not a
like
plant.
that's like impossible.
That
then,
disqualifies
Haas.
Kevin. The Rock's not a plant. Kevin Hart's not a plant. Oprah's
You
not a
really
plant.
think the government would
Well,
plant someone
them
that
are-
wasn't
nobody's a
already
plant.
actively making it? There's always a paper trail to everything, Haas. They're not that
Kevin
stupid.
Kevin Hart did comedy for 10 to 15 years before. There's
Yeah,
so-
like the government wouldn't be that dumb or naive to think that people wouldn't do their research, especially in today's internet
It's so
era.
hard.
It's a
then.
self-defeating argument. You have
Yeah.
to,
They're
Then
not
maybe-
just gonna
then-
find
then-
some random.
then
and
maybe I
say,
just
all right, now
then
you're a rapper.
maybe I don't believe in plants. Then I mean I
All
just
right.
like
So
yeah.
then there we
Okay,
go.
maybe you changed my
Then
mind.
it's
Maybe I don't believe
yeah.
in plants. Okay, besides Kevin Hart.
Oh my gosh, that's
Which is,
crazy. You
I
don't
mean, that's
believe in plants. You don't believe they push specific. You don't believe they make people more
because I
famous for a specific
So
reason because they want to
okay,
push
because
specific
Hoss,
things
I
and
think
specific agendas in there that they want.
Hoss, I think
You
your
don't
view
but
on
believe
why
that.
do
plant
they
is
I think
wrong. I
they
think that's why you're struggling with
I
it
Oh
think
my
they
because
gosh,
wait. No, dude, I
Hoss,
don't
I
think I'm
think you're
retarded.
interpreting. I think you're interpreting plant as like someone comes out of nowhere, helped by the U.S. government or whatever
Yes,
entity
helped by
you're
the
trying to
government.
talk about. Okay, all right, helped by the U.S. government, and now they're just a famous rapper or whatever. I think you're interpreting it like that. A plant would be you were actively doing whatever your medium was. Somebody with power and influence comes to you and says, I know people. I'm going to make sure that you're, whatever it is you're doing, is pushed more because it fits my agenda. And then you sign some contract with that person, and the rest is history. But there's certain rules and regulations you now have to follow, and you're under the government or whoever it is, you're under their jurisdiction now. That's what a plant is. Not you're just some random person from middle of nowhere USA and now you're a rapper. That's not a plant. That's
Why
just
did
like
the
fairy
CIA didn't
tale.
come out of nowhere and grab you and
Yeah.
just be like, "You're with
Because
us
Paul,
now"?
think about it like this too. Like, say you work for the CIA,
Mhm.
and then now you're a double agent. Like, nobody's gonna become a double agent and not have already been like a spy for someone else
See,
actively.
I just don't know like why like I think they're all doing it just for more advertising and more clicks, just for more money. Like I don't
Yeah,
see
but
any
there's an
other
agenda.
reasons.
There's an
But
agenda
how is
to
she
it
like what
all.
agenda is she pushing? It's just like
Oh, I
all
don't. I'm
right
not
music.
saying. I'm not talking Ice Spice in specific here. I'm just saying everything has a reason behind it outside of just making money.
Mhm.
Does everything always, as shitty as it is, and I hate to say it, but everything at some point ties back to the government
All right, let's say this.
or politics.
This could be used as an example. All right. The reason why you'd want to sexualize women and have men. All right. So if you put more women on a screen, right? For example, this is why a reason pornography would be bad. It actually makes you less likely to go out and interact with actual women. You get the
Okay.
stimulus. You don't
Yep.
have to go through the work of meeting somebody. You don't have to go through the work of trying to talk to them, get to know them, get to like. You don't have to get rejected. You watch something, you get your feeling, boom, right? That's how
Mhm.
pornography works. All right. So let's say you want to push, this is just an example. You push women in that way, right? Men continue to, now already people have dated less than they have in the past. There's less men with women for some reason. That's just a thing.
Mhm.
Like
That is
younger
a
men,
That
statistical
is a
it's
fact.
difference.
a
I agree.
statistic
That is a
accurate.
fact. Yes.
Men under 25 are like dating way less than
Okay.
women
Yeah,
are.
I agree. That is a fact.
When you have men that like don't want to push, then it's like you lose in one direction. So all of a sudden now they don't keep this discipline. They start to lose disciplines in other areas. This starts to like it just slowly gains and gains, whether you realize it or not. It does jump to other areas of your life. It's not
What
like it
point are you
doesn't
trying to make?
impact anything else. I'm saying you could then get to the point where people just lose power and you just control more and more because all of a sudden they're giving up one thing, then you kind of use an agenda to do another thing, attack another thing, they give up that. I mean, you kind of like
So what
Here,
agenda?
defeat
let me
everybody.
piggyback off this, Gaten, because I think this will help your point.
I'm
So,
kind of doing a sucky job at
so,
the end, but I started good.
so he's basically like giving you an example of uh, porn addiction, and then uh, sexualizing women leads a man to not want to go out and pursue, relationships in life, which then can affect, all plethora of different chemicals in a man's mind, which then may make them not want to pursue career goals and so on. So, say you affect a large majority of American men, then you could affect the economy. You could affect the middle class and like you get what I'm saying,
You
like
control. You
jobs.
you
You could
get more
affect the
control.
military because now you have less guys that even want to go do that because they're so like chemically imbalanced and fucked up from everything that has been given to them on the internet that now they're like just vegetables or shells of themselves. So say you got exterior like country or a political party that wanted to basically use that as a scapegoat or as a blame on the other side. So say like the Democrats did all that,
Mhm.
and then they blamed the Republicans for it. That could give them, and it's not a good example like this part, but like that would give them an edge in voting. Or say Russia wanted to
So you're
inside
saying you're
inside
saying
Actually,
the
is a good
United States.
example because
Like
Republicans and Democrats do that to each other.
so
So
you're
yeah,
that is
yeah,
a
they
saying
good
both
example.
do. Or say like the Russians wanted to like get us from infiltrate us from the inside. That would be a
okay.
good tactic, is like weakening the male population of the United States from go-getters, dudes that like want to fight for their freedom and stuff like that, to like dudes that have no motivation in life because the one thing that they've been taught their entire life in this country is like have a family, have kids, and now they feel like they can't even do that. And a large part of that is because of social media and other things that are pushed on them or make them feel as if they have to interact with that type of content. But uh, behind closed doors, without them realizing it, it's affecting them in a chemical way that they don't realize until it's too late. And now they're addicted to X, Y, and Z, and they don't make a push for a
So you're
relationship.
saying
Snowball effect here. Snowball
so
effect.
you're
Think about it like
saying
that.
a silly song about being the fart
Oh
is a
my god.
pipeline to
I'm not
that
just
other stuff.
saying. I'm not saying just that song. I'm
I knew
saying.
Jackson would do this.
I'm not
Okay,
saying
also,
much
okay,
in
okay.
specific.
So you're saying like all the rap music. So we bring up Ice Spice and like the City Girls that were
Okay, here's a
sexualizing
better
women's stuff.
example.
Okay, wait, no,
Here's
let
a
me
better.
talk. Let me talk. Let me
Okay.
talk. Let me talk. So you're saying all of the other rap songs about dudes being gangsters, killing people, doing drugs. That is all not things that they have created, or it is things they've created, but it's only pushed to us because like Drake, everyone else, all those songs about we going
Well,
out and having
Drake
sex with
isn't
girls.
talking about murder, so you
I
gotta
mean,
not say his name.
okay, maybe not Drake, but like all the
He does
other
a little bit though.
rappers. Yeah, he does a little
I
bit.
mean,
So
he
you're
does
saying,
Not
mention it.
enough
so
to
you're
really make
saying
an
all
impact.
those songs are being pushed by the government to make young impressionable males want to go do that
Well,
stuff more?
I'm not saying necessarily the government,
Or is it
but
only with the girls? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all trying to say? You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
saying
no.
there
So
are. I'm saying there are things are
Because why hasn't
pushed.
this been
Whether
talked about for years? Why is it only
it
when
is
there's
being
like,
talked about. It is. It is a thing.
yeah, I'm not
Do you not
just
like?
cherry picking here either, Haas. It goes for everything. Like all the music that's come out of O Block, and I know that sounds funny, but legitimately,
mm-hmm,
all the music that's come out of Chicago within the past 8 years or so during the war in Chirac has incited violence that would have never happened if it wasn't for social media. A bunch of people got involved in the stories of the gang violence between the two rival gangs, and then both of those gangs started writing music about
no,
what
I
was
know
going
all
on,
about Oblak,
name
yes.
dropping. Yeah, you know about this, and that
But
directly
that was
affected.
them,
Hang on,
and I don't
no,
think that was
yeah,
the
but
government
But
pushing
that's an
them.
example.
no,
That's it. We're not
no,
just talking about one
but
specific thing.
but algorithms such as TikTok, Instagram, Facebook took those songs and videos and stuff and pushed it. Someone with an agenda had to push that, and then that directly, and think about it, someone really was thinking about this. That directly affected Chicago and um, gun rights, gun laws, and stuff like that. So say the liberals saw this, right? Well, then they could have pushed a bunch of this music, incited death and riot in Chicago, right? And then they
The
could,
liberal.
yeah, no, seriously, hear me out though.
That
Hear
was
me out.
very funny though. That was very
No,
funny.
but say the liberals saw what was going on. People were liking the music. They were getting super involved, but they realized there was real death and tragedy going on. Well, they could have kept pushing the music, getting people more and more involved and interested in the war in Chirac, had more people die, and then come election year, they can come out and be like, there's too much gang violence in this country. Places like Chicago and others have like it's just too much, and then they could lobby for more gun laws, and
I'm gonna leave.
But I
that
don't.
plays
I
to their
really
favor.
I just don't see
I just want to
that.
say this, Jackson.
Well,
If you think
you haven't realized the world's evil, then, Hoss.
if you don't if yeah we can't explain why people do the things they do. I think everybody understands that
Yeah.
people do things for weird reasons. That goes from rapists, killers to like this kid eating the sandwich that he wants. That's like everything. But if you don't think that people who make millions of dollars They figured out a way to make so much money. You don't think they somehow try to think about what they're trying to push to people? You don't think they have do you think everything's just like random, or do you think they actually think about the things they do and then they do it? If you think that everything's just random,
I just don't
you
think
live in
And luck
you
is
there's.
live
a
in a fairy
draw.
tale. You live in a fairy tale. If you think everything is just random and just chance, if you don't think
Like
that people who have power push specific things because they want specific things to happen, if you don't think things are meticulously pushed in specific areas, then you are just living in a little bubble, and you are just I'm so sad.
whenever you realize that, like think about it like this too, Hoss. Put yourself in their shoes. Say you're a multi-millionaire, right? And you
Okay.
stumble across some talent in whatever, and you're like, wow, this guy's really good. I mean, you might want to help him, maybe, but you're gonna also think to yourself, well, what's in it for me? I already have all this money. I don't really need to do this. It's just gonna take up more of my time. So then you use them for your own personal gain. That's one just super simple example.
Okay. I understand what
You
you
know
guys are
what I
saying,
mean? Like,
but
and
all
then you
I
take
was
advantage of that
arguing,
person.
like, I understand that there may be stuff like big themes that they're trying to push and agendas. Obviously, everyone has an agenda, what they want. I want more money. I want this to be voted for. I want this. I want this. I just really don't think that them putting these songwriters, like, and making and pushing specific people's music is going to affect that much. Do you know what I'm saying?
Does
It does though. Like rap
kids
music.
listen to this stuff?
Think about in
Kids,
our think about in our
the
Yeah.
next
area, Hoss,
generation.
where we grew up. It's conventionally not the most racially equal place. But there's a bunch of white kids in high school and middle school listening to rap music, and they hear the N word, and then they think it's okay to say. They're impressionable. Boom! Now they all say the N word and think that's not a bad word.
Actually, I want to tie it in. Let me
But
tie it in with
That
Ice
music
Spice real
affects
but
them.
fast.
like but
Let me
okay.
tie it in with Ice Spice.
That
Ice,
music affects them, just like Ice Spice
this
is affecting them.
this
Whether there's
girl
an agenda or not, it's affecting them. You
this
can agree to
girl
that.
talking about her body parts, talking about how she does specific. She's just basically like left this entire realm of like women are special. Now women are objects, whether you realize that or not. All she's doing is like objectifying herself physically. That's literally all the songs are.
But why is
Little
that a
girls
bad
hear
thing for
this.
her to do?
Little girls hear
No one
this.
said it's
Like,
bad
and
for
they
but
her.
like,
She's making a
It's
bag.
great for her.
She's
She
but
makes
like,
money.
objectifying women.
why would
It's
they
bad
want to
for all the
push that?
kids that hear it.
Okay, think about it like this, Hoss.
We don't
There's
know
been
why
a
people would
lot.
push it.
There's been a lot of stuff within the past few years that's been helping women and equalizing women and men, right?
Okay.
WNBA, especially recently this year with Caitlin Clark. Like they're pushing that. Like that's an agenda being pushed. There's not that many people that care, but they are. I mean, they are shoving it down your throat. ESPN is making sure you know.
I mean, but she's like a
Is the
revolutionary
NCAA
athlete, though. I think
Yeah,
that should
yeah,
be
and
pushed.
I don't refute that.
So
I
it's
think
being. So you're saying being pushed is just
Wait a
being
minute, I'm not
posted.
done. Hang on, I'm not done. I don't refute that she's a generational athlete. I think she's very talented, but not everyone
She's
agrees
the
with that.
best
And
of
a
all
lot of
time.
people, you go through the comments and they say, "I don't give a fuck. I'm here for the NBA, not the WNBA,
Yeah, but it's
not women's
Sports
hoops."
Center. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
but it's different
but
when
still,
she's the best of all time.
so, but you're not even letting me get to my point. My point is this: over the past 5, 10 years, and really for a long time now, they've been like here in the United States and around the world, it's been trying to equalize women to men, right? Well, guess what Ice Spice is doing right now? Reverting all the progress that was made. So if you're someone that
I don't think she's
was
reverting anything. She's just
she
making
is
music.
because she's now no because all the impressionable kids in the
Dude,
world or teens are listening to that music and they'll think it's okay to objectify a woman. And
but
if you can't agree with
why?
that, you're crazy. Because
No, I don't think
everything
that's at all
you-
what she's saying.
But she
Uh,
is.
none of-
She's literally
no.
just objectifying her body. And
I-
saying,
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
that
give
is
you
not
that.
teaching anyone else to do that.
Yeah, it
Alright.
is.
No, it is
Pause.
not. No, it
They
is
all
not.
have
So you're
funky
saying
brains.
you're saying every rap music that every kid listens to is that's talking about murder, is talking about doing drugs, is telling the kids to go murder and do drugs. What are you talking about? Or is it
It's
only
letting
with
them-
her?
It's normalizing it. It's normalizing,
normalizing
it
it.
and making it seem like it's just part of the world. which
So
it shouldn't be.
all the music that's bad should just go away and just should not be there. Is that what
Listen,
you're saying?
I'm not sitting here
Is that what you're
saying
saying? Is that what
Listen,
you're
We're
saying? Is
it's
that what you
pushed.
want?
We're
Dude,
saying
you're hitting
it
me with the
shouldn't
red.
be.
You're
We're saying
hitting
it
me with the
shouldn't
red
be
hair.
pushed by massive
But-
companies,
Pause,
by
pause.
massive social media companies that they
Mhm.
know children are on, that they know these people, millions of people use. They pitchly push so that people can see it. It's not like you happen to
Because
come
it gets the
across it.
listens. That's
It's
why.
not because you happen to come
Yes, it
across
sounds
it
like we have
and
a
it happens to
morality
be.
issue then.
It's not because you happen to come across it and it's just because it's a regular algorithm. It's picked up. People see it, just as Sam said. People see it and they have to choose in the company. They have to choose. We are going to push this more. There's no way that people don't choose to push something more. Do we know why? No. But we're saying it shouldn't be pushed. Stuff like bad things like that.
I mean, if
I
you're
mean, yeah, it is
arguing
a
a point
morality issue,
that
but to say that kids or people wouldn't be influenced, that's the exact thing with
Yeah, like
with
there's
rap
no
and being
refuting
like,
that.
if you are saying it's okay to kill someone, I killed this guy in a rap song. When somebody hears that, that's a little kid who then lives in the hood, and then also everybody else thinks that's cool. Then all of a sudden, to be cool, you have to be that thing.
It becomes
Not only
part of the
that,
culture.
yes, then it
Like the
worsens
War in
everybody
Chirac
else.
music literally led to multiple other murders. Like it just did.
If you don't
And
understand this, you are a
and
lost cause.
I'm not sitting here, Hoss, saying that like every kid that listens to Ice Spice or some of this rap music thinks, oh, that's cool. Now I have to go do it. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is it's normalizing it, and that's not good because there's already a bunch of other issues about this very same things they're rapping and singing about that are unaddressed. And that's like on point with your own political views. So I don't get how you're not following me on
We're
no,
that.
losing. I
I
can see it Jackson's eyes. He does not. He's never gonna
Yeah.
get this. I
no,
can
But
see
I
it's
it.
crazy.
understand what
He's
you're
never
It's
gonna
saying.
like,
get it.
I
He's never
just
going
think
to.
in general there is like
Good lord.
I
We need
just
Blake on this podcast to bully you.
no. What do you mean? I understand what you
Bully.
mean.
We need to.
I
We need to bully the
bully
shit
me
out of
how?
Jackson
That makes no sense.
till he comes back to regular senses.
Talking about 30 cents, I just think that they only push things that are going to get more clicks, and that is what's getting more clicks right now. And more
okay,
clicks and
okay.
more screen time is
So
all that companies care about.
with that said, and me knowing your political views, and this doesn't matter, but do you think that's morally okay? That
That a
if it's
company
getting
wants
clicks,
more money, yes, that's
no, no,
what they do.
that's
That
morally okay.
no, that's capitalism.
But-
That's what we
yeah,
that's
but
what we
what
live in.
yeah, but I'm asking you as a yourself, not about any sort of systematic shit within our government. Do you morally think it's okay? So, like, if clips of the Taliban beheading, and I know I'm cherry picking here, but if they were beheading and that was getting a lot of clicks, do you think it's morally okay for TikTok to push that because it's going to make them money? Would
Making
you
that
be
money.
okay for that to
There's
be
No.
on
nothing
your
wrong with it.
website?
There's nothing wrong with it. Just
I
as
just I can't
if they
control
wanted to
that. I
push
don't.
Jesus Christ, or they wanted to push the Quran, or
It's
they
out of
wanted
your
to push
control doesn't mean you
atheism.
can't have an opinion on it. Do you think it's morally okay? That's what I'm asking.
To push that exact video.
Yeah,
I think there should be
because
rules
we
in
might not
place.
agree. We might not agree on Ice Spice or this rap music and how it affects the
No,
spongy mind of
I,
our youth. But what we can both agree on is a beheading video by the Taliban or Al Qaeda is frowned upon.
of
So if that
course.
was being pushed and TikTok or whatever social media platform's algorithm saw that it was getting a lot of clicks and likes and they pushed it to you, no one else, whether it's in your control or not, is it morally okay?
Just push it to me and no one else.
And no,
He's gonna
no,
deconstruct everything like
Boss,
this.
I'm saying, in your opinion, your mind, only yours, a video of the Taliban or any other terrorist group gets post on, I'll be very specific, gets post on TikTok.
Okay.
It's early engagement. 5 minutes it's been posted. The early engagement is through the roof. Everyone's liking and commenting. TikTok sees it. The person that gets to approve it to really push it to everyone says, fuck it. It's going to make us more money. Boom. Now everyone sees it, including yourself.
Okay, no,
And,
because it goes
and
against TOS. Okay, I'll say this: it goes against TOS. The other music and other stuff that gets pushed is not against TOS, so it doesn't get pushed. It does get pushed if it's against, or if it's not against TOS, it doesn't get pushed. That is
point
in the
is-
rules. Okay, listen, if you don't want to listen to it, you don't download that website. You can clearly read the rules and stuff on the website before you go onto it or the social media. Okay, that's what
okay, but
happens.
once again, I'm asking you. You're deflecting. I'm asking you.
No,
is it morally okay?
No, because
for
it's
in
not
your
in the
mind?
rules of TikTok to be able to send a video like that. That's disgusting.
Okay, and who decides those rules, Hoss?
What do you mean? The company decides the rules.
So it's
they?
okay if they decided that. That's okay.
On their
Okay.
website, yes. I think you should, whatever they want to do on their website, they can do on their website.
But do they
I don't
decide
wanna-
those rules, or do lobbyists and agenda makers decide the rules?
Dude,
So-
I don't know. What
so
do you mean?
there's a deeper iceberg to this all because, in case you forgot, TikTok was under investigation by the U.S. government, and they were
I know it's getting
also.
banned in like 30 days because it's owned by like a Chinese company.
Well, no, it's not getting banned because they migrated TikTok to United States
Do they
servers,
actually
and
do it?
there's a United States TikTok server now,
I thought it was actually getting banned again.
and that's open and under review by the U.S. government now. They can look through everything that regards TikTok, therefore meaning that their TOS is directly represented by whatever the government decides. Therefore, they could push whatever they want to whoever they want. So whether it's a beheading
And
video or something else that maybe isn't that extreme, just think of something that you don't like morally. They could push that now.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
To
I
everyone.
think I think if I see a video or something like that and it gets pushed to me, it doesn't immediately change how I think on it
Yeah,
at
but you're
all.
forgetting about all the TikTok brains out there and how many people just believe everything verbatim for exactly what they see. Us three here,
That's their
exception.
problem.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you can't.
if you believe everything
All
you
right.
see, then you're just an idiot. We can't argue about
Yeah,
idiots.
yeah, but it's not about worrying about idiots. It's about worrying about the fact that we have a deeper issue in the country. And just because you feel like it's out of your control doesn't mean you should just dismiss it. Is my personal
All right, well,
belief.
how about this? The people that do believe most of everything that they see are typically about, I don't know, 10 years and younger. What about those kids? What about the people on the
Well, I mean,
website that
are we just dismissing their parents that also have a role in like telling them
people
what is
parent
not?
that's the internet. You can get around everything nowadays. That is how it is. I can watch
Okay.
illegal movies.
So, if that's on their parents to do, right?
Yes, it's 100%. If they're yeah,
Then we should ban anything gender related in schools
what do you
because
mean?
it's on their parents to teach that. We shouldn't teach about being gay. We shouldn't teach about being transgender. Anything like that should never be discussed in the classroom. Honestly, even religion should be completely stripped. And I know that already exists, separation of church and state. But anything regarding that should all be stripped from education systems. And it should be on the parents to teach them. If the parents don't succeed in doing that, then I guess we just have to say, oh, too bad.
Well, I mean, for important things like health and like the history of things, I think it definitely should be taught in school. But no school should be telling you like what to believe in unless it's like direct history, like the history of religion and how it affected our society and our culture, the history of gender and how it affected our society and culture. Obviously, there should be like sex ed courses and classes to make everyone understanding and how like what the general like public like thinks about it, and then the both sides of it. They should teach both sides and make the kids have
Yeah, but there's
grab
not
their
much.
own opinion. What do
Yeah,
you mean?
but with
That's
the
how
whole
it should be.
with the
That's how
whole
America is. That is how America is. It's
with the whole
freedom of
gender
speech, freedom
thing
of
that he's
belief.
talking about, that's not exactly how that is. It's not like, by the way, there's gay people and there's straight people.
Yes,
Moving on.
the kids should
It's
be
not.
taught
That's
about
not
that.
how. That's not
There,
exactly
that
how
is a
it
fact.
goes.
That is
There's
a
a lot
fact.
of different.
That is a fact about
Bro,
how what happens in America. There are
the
those
thing
people,
is we
and they
can't
should be
actually
taught about
sit
that.
here and say that that is how they do it because we haven't attended every school in the United States.
Have you ever seen them do? They do strip dances in front of kids.
What?
All
You
I'm
didn't know that?
saying is
Who does
yes, I'm
strip
being kind of
dances
a
in front of
devil's advocate
kids?
dick,
Public schools.
but
There are public
What,
schools that have
dude?
done that.
No, they don't. Then
Look it
there's
up, Jackson.
they do strip
Look it
dances in
up.
front of kids. Why would
well,
they do strip
Haas,
dances
you
in front
are
of
just
kids?
completely rejecting what he just said without having any prior knowledge on it.
Okay,
to be
well,
fair.
then
If I
explain
saw,
it to
if I,
me.
there's
Although it
videos.
sounds a little crazy.
That
It
sounds
sounds a little crazy,
insane.
but it could
me
exist,
go
Well,
find
and
one.
you're just
okay,
directly
well,
saying no.
okay, well, I'm saying that, you're saying like a generalization, like they're doing that everywhere. Like that may have happened, and that's awful. And I'm sorry for those kids that they're victims. Strip
All I was
dancing
saying,
in public
devil's
schools.
advocate, if you want to leave that the other stuff up to the parents, then everything should just be left up to the parents in terms of controversial stuff. Like you can't pick and
Okay,
choose
I
what
see
gets
one
taught and
at
what
a
doesn't.
at a community college, and that was for a pride event, and it looks consensual. That's a little weird. They're at a community college, but that's not like at a school. I mean, that's just a college kid that knows what they're doing. Okay, I mean, I looked it up. I don't see what you're talking about. I don't see like a bunch of outrages about
I
at
mean, I haven't
school.
seen a whole bunch of videos, but also if you're gonna look it up, they're definitely not gonna leave it up. Why would they want to leave that up? Definitely, people would want to take that down, especially if you have Democratic Party currently in the running. It's Google. Google can easily do that. Google feeds you things that they want to feed you, not they feed you ads first over things that you should see. Also, I saw them on Instagram, which Instagram I don't know if you've been on Instagram. Instagram is the wild, wild west. If you go on YouTube, you're never gonna find
And
it.
couldn't you say the same thing? Or they just fed that video to get you riled up? You know what I'm saying? It goes both ways too. To fit your agenda or to fit my agenda or whoever's agenda. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah, that's how
you
an
don't
algorithm
you
works,
don't
but
think it
that
goes
doesn't
both
change the
ways?
fact that a video like that is crazy.
The thing is, though, is you
Oh,
can
I
make
agree.
a counter argument to that, Hoss, and literally debunk it, that it doesn't work both ways because every single one of the social media platforms is owned and ran by liberal-backed lobbyists and other groups. Every single one of them.
You're saying every single one of them is owned by a liberal backed thing. There's
The
no
only
way
one
that every
now
single
is
Yeah.
one.
not is pretty much Twitter.
Yeah, that's like the only one.
Mm,
It is. I mean, it's not even a debate.
Jackson, if you're gonna debate,
Like
it,
you
probably got
can literally
substance.
go to the paper trail and see it. Same goes with guns, though. The guns are the NRA, like all of that's conservative viewpoint and ran and funded. Like that's not.
hmm
No one debates that.
Obviously, because it's like
And
that
same goes with
sort of thing.
YouTube. Same goes with YouTube and all the social media platforms outside of like Twitter, really, and I'd say TikTok too. Just because TikTok's weird, it's hard to really say who's controlling
YouTube's
that.
a liberal. YouTube's not. YouTube's way more Democratic than it is Republican.
Yeah,
Even Gus.
and but when I say conservative versus liberal, it's not saying Joe Biden runs YouTube. It's just saying
No,
that
no.
like the lobbyists
I
and
just
people that
think
fund the liberal or the left side, or people that fund the Democratic Party and its candidates, the same groups that are funding them are the same groups that are backing and running places like YouTube and Instagram and so on.
I just think when you say that like everything is just the algorithm and stuff, it just like decredits the creators and the artists that make music that people listen to and like. You know
All
what
I'm
I'm saying?
saying was the whole
Well,
idea.
it does,
The whole
Hoss, that
idea was
it
that
does.
like
Like if it's
things
all
can
just an
get pushed.
algorithm, then like yeah, I mean we're
We
just
weren't
cooked.
we
No,
weren't
but
like talking about that because you got like off on like capitalism and like
Well,
they should be able
that
to
is
allow
what it is, right?
Yes,
Because
we understand.
all of
But
it about is more money.
the idea is that why is I don't know why is Ice Spice pushed specifically? Because like we said, somebody has to see it and push it. There's definitely no way that it's like this one thing. They have to choose that one thing that's big at the time. There's millions of things
I
that get
literally
chosen
just
as
think
popping off.
I just
So
think
why
it's
did they choose? Wait, why do they choose one thing to push?
dude. I
That's
think it's literally
negative in
just
society
because
versus
the
something
music
positive.
was easy and catchy, and teenagers
Okay,
liked it.
well, we're never gonna get anywhere. I'm sorry, Jackson. You have like the most simple mind ever. And
Dude,
you are
I
living
don't
in a
have
bubble, brother.
a
You are
bubble of
living in a
what?
bubble.
Dude,
You're just
you're
living in a
telling me
bubble, son.
music never got popular just because it's catchy. It's always because of some agenda.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna speak.
Hey,
I'm just.
let me
We're
put
never
it.
gonna get anywhere. I never said that.
Let me put it this way. So like I don't think it's that the creators are being devalued, Hoss, when he says like algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
It's more that, and think about it like this: you have an agenda, I have an agenda, Gaten has an agenda, everyone has an agenda. As simple as it could be, or as complex as it could be. Fuck, I could have a manifesto right over there about how I'm going to take over the world.
I believe
But
that
at the end,
actually.
yeah, and maybe I do, but that's besides the point. Everyone has an agenda, and so say I was really talented at music. Well, even if I am just singing about nothingness, there's some sort of hidden agenda for me as to why I'm doing that. There is. And maybe
Okay.
it's as simple as I just want to be a millionaire. It has nothing to do with politics. See, you flinched. You're like, oh no. But maybe my agenda is just I want a lot of money.
Okay. Yes.
Maybe
That's
your
what I
agenda is
think.
because you want to put on your
but
music because you love
but
music.
That's what I
but
think most
maybe
of them are.
maybe
It's just music. They
maybe
just
I'm
that's their
singing
agenda. Yes.
about
Are you asking me right now if I do not believe in people having agendas or motives of what they do? Of course I
yeah,
believe
but
in that.
once again, I still haven't got to my overarching like point,
Okay.
which is that regardless of why you're doing what it is you're doing, there's people out there with real power and real influence that no one knows their name of. And they might find you who's singing about
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and that fits exactly what they need and that the whatever situation it is for what they're trying to get to happen. And maybe it's so minuscule, it really means nothing, and they just think you're talented. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe whatever it is they see in you, they see that they could use you as a vessel to gain whatever it is they want within their political party, their activist group, whatever. Even if that just means that you endorse them
I
or
think okay.
you have a photo op with them. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are singing verbatim what they tell you to sing. It could just mean you took a picture with them. Photo ops mean a lot too. You guys are forgetting that. A simple picture with a political figure can mean whether I like them or whether or let's say hypothetically, or here we'll do it like this. Could uh, say whoever the singer is, they take a picture with Donald Trump. Now, you guys, both of you aren't super like all right and left, but let's just say in this situation you are. They took the picture of Donald Trump. Gaden, he's still gonna like that person. But say you, Hoss, hate Donald Trump to your core, and you might not respect them as much just over a picture. See how powerful that is? And I know you're giggling, but it's so true. There's people out there that'll change their entire worldview on the person.
Bud Light.
Yeah, like I
Bud
mean,
Light just happened.
you get like there were conservatives out there, Hoss, that if someone that they thought
Oh,
they liked was caught with a Bud Light in their hand, they were gay.
they're
They no longer
delusional
fucked with them.
people.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it might be delusional, Hoss, but that's the whole point. Is that is a very real thing in this world.
Yeah, people have
That-
influence. Okay.
Yeah, so
I will.
yeah.
I understand what you guys are saying. I've heard everything you guys are saying. I just think when people are pushed for especially TikTok, it is more about money and view time for their other advertisements. And I'm going to give you this. I do think the advertisements that are pushed on things are where they really are getting you into their like whatever agenda. Do you know what I'm saying? Because like I can watch if I watch enough YouTube, I'll at least get one Donald Trump ad, for example. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think, but for the creators, I think most of it they're pushing because they hear a catchy sound and they know how to make money, and that's what they're good at is making money. So I think it's more about the money side and the clicks and keeping you doing it. But I think the advertisers are coming in and are planted and are pushed to certain groups depending on even the content type. And I'll give you guys that. I think that is a nice medium that we can sit at.
Yeah, that's why I said,
Okay,
not always
do we
they
agree?
know.
Do we
Hang on, hang
agree?
on. That's why I said, not always does the creator know that they are a plant. Sometimes they're just a vessel for someone else's own
But I just
gain.
don't think the girl that makes
Or a
silly,
tool.
silly, stupid song, even a bad song, even, is getting told, "Hey, we need you to make 5 more of these songs so we can have this view on women in society shift a little
Once
bit."
again, you just ignored his final point, which was once again, some people do not know if they are chosen or not. They don't have to talk to you. They're
Okay,
the ones
that's
pushing
but
your
okay.
stuff, making you money.
Well, that's
You don't care.
okay. That's more believable than the just them being like full on
That
plants, like
was
they're
our
in
whole
on
point.
it. That was
That was
not
our-
your whole
that was
point.
our whole- the whole
It
that
point
kind of
was-
it kind
the
of
whole point
was,
was-
but it did somewhat get
that
to
was
this.
not the whole point.
We
Okay.
started
Took a while.
pushing away from it. The idea was someone is a plant, people have influence over specific things, and they push agendas. And you were like, then you started narrowing it back down. Why would you push out space? But
Well,
no,
that's
wait.
what we
Why
started
would
on.
people have agendas?
That's what we started
Why
on.
would- But I'm saying you kept looking and choosing small, minute details. We
And
were
so
just
were
trying
you
to
guys.
say
You guys just
we
were
were just
bringing
saying
up
we were
examples.
trying to say that plants are a real thing. And you were
Well,
like,
yeah, Hoss, I think where it got
And we had a
weird was when I had to explain by definition a plant, and I think we never made it clear that we weren't saying that's
weren't
all it could be.
on the same page of the definition of plant. But like I said, I will meet in the middle on this thing. That is all you're getting. I really do think that it's more in the advertising on the sites, besides the content, that is really getting people on stuff. But
Wait,
I don't
say
know.
that again. Say that again.
This is just my like final point that I made, that it's more of like it's more for clicks and getting like $1 million, blah blah blah, and then the advertisements you see are more planted by like the agenda people.
I mean, yeah, it's a fair argument, and I shouldn't, but I have to. I can't help myself. But devil's advocate, if it's all just for clicks, do you think there's some hidden agenda on them just trying to keep you on your phone and distracted?
Yes, because you make more money because you watch more ads. Yes, that is the
I
argument.
think
Dude,
There's a
I
whole
agree
bunch of
that
layers
there's
to it.
reasons for things. Like,
I think there's just a whole. I think it all layers together. I don't think it's just one thing. I think it's many different things all layered in. They pretty much are, whether or not people realize it. One group wants one thing, money. One group wants another thing, distraction. One group wants another thing, which is agenda. I think it's different people doing different things at the same time. It's pretty hard to say who's doing what, but at the same time, when you've got a lot of money already, I would say you pretty much want to push for anything you want. That's what I would say. I would just say it's a bunch of different things at once. There's no way it's just one. That's what
Yeah.
I would think.
I agree. I don't know. I just see some of it just too like silly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just hear like silly music or like silly shows, and I just like I don't know. It doesn't make me think
Yeah, I'm
of
sure
like
in some
just
situations
speaking from
that could be the case.
super personable, like super personal.
Not
You know what I'm
not
saying?
everything
Like
is
like
like
what it was it? What was it? Like Donald Trump was with Two Chains. You know what I'm saying, or something like that. Like a long time ago. Like it's not gonna make me like go, oh, I don't like Trump. I'm not gonna listen to Two Chains. You know what I'm saying? Or like was he pushing Two Chains? You know what I'm saying? In like a weird way. And then Two Chains music has some stuff about killing people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah, and not
there's
everything
levels to
is,
it.
but the only way to make
I
an
just don't think
example out
it's
of something
all
is to
that deep.
say it for as concrete as it can be.
I just think this should have been a more important conversation, like when just like during the O Block time. I believe that was when it was the most detrimental to the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I could also
Besides like
argue back
silly
because I
stuff.
know the truth on this, which is that's the most educated thing you're the most educated on that,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
that
No,
topic
no.
you are educated on, so
Well,
you're
there was also
confident in what you know.
there's also
Whereas in
more.
some of
There
this
was
other
also like
stuff, no.
one guy that was pushing it, and he was doing
Yeah,
it for clicks. You can there's like his name is DJ Academics, and he's talking about O Block, and he's the reason that O Block got popular on the Reddit called Shy Ecology. Anyways, he's the one that pushed that and covered it. And so did what is his name, Adam22. He covered it too. And those
yeah,
guys
but
literally are on stage saying that they regret covering it because it led to deaths, but they were doing it because that's what was hot, that's what was clicking. So, and they were doing it for
yeah,
money. So
but
that's just an example.
that's not what I was saying.
But
What I was saying
I know your example. Yeah, yeah.
is you
It
you
can get
tend to
influence.
push back when you don't know, you're not fully educated on it as much, and or reject a viewpoint without having done any research. That's why I know when I brought up the Chirac stuff, you would make more sense of it because you were educated on that.
No, yeah, I understand, and
Yeah.
yeah, but like I don't know, like when Gaiden said that they're stripping in front of schools, like it was like a thing that's happening all over schools. Obviously, I'm gonna say no, that is not happening all over
Yeah, and
no.
schools.
I didn't say it was happening all over schools. I
No,
said
just the
it's
way
happened
you
in
said it.
schools.
You said it. Yeah, it happened. Maybe like once or twice, which
I'm
is
saying
like way more than it
that's
should.
become that's
But that's
become
bad.
way more of a thing now than it ever has.
But like once or twice isn't becoming way more of a thing. I mean, yeah, that's
So it's
100x.
never happened.
So
all
it's
I
never
know
happened
is
and then
Has happened.
happened one time. That is not way more. It's one
listen.
random occurrence of that awful thing happening.
There's only one way to look
There's
at this
multiple clips.
that situation, which is one, Hoss. It's good that you had self doubt about it or whatever, and you wanted to say no way. But it's bad that you just instantly refused it and didn't do any research.
I did. I
And that,
instantly looked it up.
in and of itself, and it's bad also. And I can't recall, so this could be a refuted statement here. But it's bad that then right now in this very moment, you said that he said it happens all the time. Well, then that's putting words into someone's mouth, and that's what a vast majority of this entire country does to itself. We lie or over exaggerate what someone else said, leading to everyone not trusting each other and just only wanting to believe what they think. So
Well, I think his exact words are "they are doing this," which makes it
yeah,
plural. So multiple instances of
Yeah, I've
this.
seen multiple. I've seen multiple videos. That's why I say that.
but
That
good
is
good that
unbelievable.
you held back and didn't fully believe it yet without doing
Drag
research.
shows. That's what it is.
But
Drag
I
shows.
did say
Drag shows are stripping.
no way, which is pretty crazy, and then I looked it up because it does sound crazy.
Yep.
So.
I mean, then again,
And I
it
did,
makes logical sense
I
when you
did
see-
find one thing of it after reading like 20 articles on it, and it was at a community college that I saw, which I don't think really is like that's like something that you just volunteer to go to. You know what I'm saying? So, not in like a public education system. But yeah,
Crazy pod.
Yeah, that was a long one.
crazy pod. I am.
How long we go for?
Hour and 44 minutes.
Holy
All right,
smokes! So we need to
this
wrap
is
it
this is
up.
pretty fast. Elementary kids get special surprise drag performance at school talent show.
No way.
Published
No way.
2017, June 2019. I did a lot
Let's
of
look this up.
research. Found the first thing
Is there a video and were they stripping?
in a drag show is stripping.
Is
Oh,
it? Is it always stripping?
Yeah, pretty sure most of
Wait,
them.
do you have the
pretty
video
much
of them
all
taking
them
their
is-
clothes off in
Well,
front
a
of the
drag
kids?
show isn't
That is not
stripping
stripping.
per
That is
se,
not
but it's
stripping.
a man dressing up as a woman, and once again, that probably shouldn't be involved in public education, to be fair. And I'm not necessarily against drag, but me personally, regardless of my political views, I don't think I'd want my little son or daughter looking at a man dressed up as a woman for entertainment purposes.
Although not all of them are going to be stripping, but I'm sure there's definitely been some iffy
But that
cases.
my point
But then
here
again,
is
you even have to be like, well, what is considered this? So then it gets all. But
my
still,
point though, Gaten, is who cares if they're even stripping? They're displaying a man dressed as a woman.
agreed.
And
you
and
can't
whether
have
you agree
religion.
with that or not, if you can't have religion, you can't have that. Because that there's an argument to be made that you can be born gay. They are somewhat close to proving that. But transgender is still new science and they haven't been able to prove it. Whether like you're born and you're really like a female wired brain but you have male anatomy, they haven't really truly proved that scientifically. So with that being said, I don't think you should be able to have a man dressed up as a woman, whether they're transgender or not, in public schools.
So you're saying the kids shouldn't be able to do that if that's
No, the
what
kids
they're-
can do what they want.
Okay. Or
The school- there shouldn't be-
what about a teacher?
Teacher can do what they want. There shouldn't be school-sponsored events for the kids' entertainment like that. I'm okay if a kid shows up and they claim
Even
to
if it
be a
was for
woman.
educational purposes, just to like see like
Well,
what that
how
is.
would
That is
a
a real
how
thing.
would a drag show ever be an educational thing?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
outside
but
of
I'm
it.
saying for like I don't know. I don't think it's an educational thing. I'm saying just like for them to be like knowledgeable about that. That is a thing that happens. That is people that are in our society who do vote and are American citizens.
Well, why would
Yeah,
you wanna
I
bring-
mean, maybe you could do that, but
Mhm.
at the same time, what Gaden's talking about in this article that he is presenting to us, which once again I haven't seen, but I'm taking Gaden's word on this, which is somewhat of a dangerous game. Not because it's Gaden, but because you should do your own research out for all the viewers out there. But taking his word on this, it was a elementary or middle school event, Gaden.
elementary school.
Elementary school sponsored drag show for the kids' own enjoyment.
Over
think-
200,000 being spent on drag queen shows at NYC schools.
I think that is crossing the line. Now, to answer your question again, Hoss, teacher, if they're a drag queen, fine.
Okay.
If there's a student, fine.
Mhm.
But the school should not spend school funds unless it's a private school, because private schools can do what they want. But a
Mhm.
public school in any of the 50 states in the United States should not be allowed to do that until the United States government recognizes transgender as something that is either a mental illness or you're born that way. But right now it's in a gray area. So until they've figured it out
What
and
do you mean a
made
gray
decision
area?
on, I mean, there's no science on it, no proven science on
So there's
what.
no proof. I mean, there's like so you say the same thing for like any mental illness or like any like depression or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, but there's explanations to that.
There's
science,
explanations to
chemical
that, too.
imbalance. No, but they don't have proven facts on being transgender yet. There isn't. There is stuff on being gay. There is, but transgender there isn't, Hoss.
What do you mean
And
by
this
proven
isn't me
facts?
saying I'm against. This isn't even me saying I'm against transgender. This is me saying I want the facts, not speculation.
But how is it speculation when there's people that are currently
Just because there's
that?
people that say they're transgender, Hoss, I know there's transgenders out there. I'm saying there
Mhm.
is no science backing that you're born in a male's body with a female wired brain where you feel as if you're a female. There's no science on that yet. Proven
What do you
science.
want science? Like what do you want the science?
Because
you want
they've
their
proven
like,
that you
brains?
can. They've proven to some extent that you can be born and not wired into the norm of liking a man if you're a female. They've
How do they
proven that you
how do
can
they
have
prove that?
chemical imbalances in your brain to where you would like the same gender. They've proven that.
Okay.
So that's why I somewhat can live with the fact that that is accepted in public education
But
Mhm.
because
the claim
there's
is
science to explain it.
the claim
Mhm.
is
Transgender, there's
I'm a man stuck in a woman's body. Okay, well,
yeah,
what does that mean? I've I believe I'm a man. Okay, well, what does that mean? Like I think like a man, but you're a woman. Well, how do you prove that? Well, I just feel like I am. Well, okay, well, your feelings doesn't mean specifically that you're a man. How are you supposed to prove
yeah.
that? It's
Like
like
that's basically
that's
what
what
I'm
he's saying.
saying, Hoss. I'm not saying I'm against transgenders. I'm just saying if we're going to have shit like that exist in our public education systems, I would like for there to be some proven science or explanation as to why that is, so our youth can better understand it, rather than it be, oh, well, my parents said that that's just dead wrong and you're going to hell. And then my parents said, I can be a girl now. I don't want there to be any of this gray bullshit because that's where it gets nasty. So until they can come up, and even if it's a lie, fuck it. But until they can come up with some sort of explanation as to why that occurs in some people at varying ages, because it doesn't happen at a consistent age. It could happen to a 40-year-old. It could
Mhm.
happen to an 8-year-old. You know what I mean? So until there's some science behind that, I personally wouldn't want drag shows and other stuff like that to be pushed on children, not just my own, all children, excluding teachers that already identify as that, students that decide that they identify as that, and stuff along those lines. I'm not saying that those people can't exist and still be teachers.
Mhm.
It's just school sponsored event. I
Okay.
think that's where I draw the line.
What about if
That's
it
all.
was like an optional thing and they had to pay $20, like the parents had to pay like a field trip,
I mean, if
like
it's
a
optional and
slip
it's
that the
outside
parent
of
had to
school
decide.
hours, if it's optional and it's not affecting children that don't participate,
Well,
it's
the
not
parents will
affecting
have to
their
sign it, for example.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying for the kids that don't end up going, if it's not affecting their education that
Mhm.
they would receive if it didn't exist and it's optional, fine, I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Like I'm not somebody that's going to sit here and say, "Oh, that is the worst thing on the planet. It shouldn't exist at all." Everything has its place whether you agree with it or not, but it should never be a school sponsored event where all students basically have to participate regardless of what their parents agree with or not.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
if science backs it up, then you can push that in public education, in my opinion. But until
So
that
you're
point,
a big just like separation like of church and state guy also.
yeah, me personally, I
Okay.
mean, I believe in God and believe in a lot of that stuff, but I don't think any religion should be pushed in school, to be honest. Now, I think there's a place for it, like FCA. I think that should still exist, but it has to be completely optional
Mhm.
because I don't want, you know, because once you start forcing stuff, that's where you get social unrest and people start disagreeing with things, and then you get a lot of issues. That's why it's
Mhm.
better to separate it. So
Hmm.
it's not that I'm against any of the things we just discussed. It's just that if you want less problems, you just set that as a parameter, and then you don't run into as much. So
I would just say it's like the U.S. in general, freedom. You're supposed to be able
yeah,
to choose what you want. You're not supposed. The idea is not to be pushed by anything. So I mean,
yeah.
if you go by the U.S. standard, that's kind of like what it is.
Like if the U.S. would just take or
You're
if
supposed to
it
be.
would just take fact and only teach fact, which is already hard to do in any country. But if science backs it up or there's real historic documentation on it, stuff along those lines, if that's all we taught, I don't think there'd be as many problems when it comes to what's true, what's not. But once you start
Yeah, but
saying in
wouldn't you say
certain
that the
states,
government would be like, wouldn't the government had certain agendas to push, like you said
I'm
earlier,
sure they would, and
about
that's why I
what
say it's
is
hard to
fact or
do
what is not fact? So
because
it'd
we
be
don't teach
impossible.
all the good history. We don't
Because
teach all the
if
good
it,
history, and
yeah,
neither does Germany, and neither does Russia, and everything
yeah.
else. But if we
So we're
took at
cooked.
least the scientific biological facts that we know to this day, and they will change in 20 years, without a shadow of a doubt, they will. But if we take the most current modern science and teach that in school, we'll have less issues because then outside of school is where your parents can tell you what they want you to believe in, and that's fine. I'm not against the parent saying, "Well, the school's wrong. Listen to me now." Could turn in
I mean,
make
that
the
happens
kid
already.
fucked in the
Yeah,
head.
yeah, that
But
happens all the time.
yeah, but the problem is sometimes it happens where teachers are teaching that to their kids, and that's not okay because it's against the will of the parent and sometimes the will of the child if they're aware enough.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
and I don't know how anyone could disagree with that. At the end of the day, you conceive the kid, you should have some say in what gets taught. Now, if you're saying, well, I don't want you to teach about World War II, well, then you're just full of shit because that happened.
Mhm.
Or, I don't want you to teach them the Pythagorean theorem. Well, that's just proven math. You're an idiot if you wouldn't want your kid to learn that. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you're saying, I don't want you to teach them about transgender stuff, that's fair because there's no real science on that
I
yet.
mean, I feel like
20 years from now, there
if it
could
is
be.
taught, it should be the history of how it affects our
Yeah,
society.
now I don't disagree with you on that.
Mhm.
I think definitely in the years coming forward, at least from a history's
I mean, just
perspective,
the
they will
under.
teach about LGBTQ riots and so on. They'll teach about BLM.
Yeah.
And if they don't, that's us hiding the facts.
Yeah.
I'm not against them teaching about the uprise of all the gender stuff and all that because that is real history and it has affected this country deeply from a political and which side are you on, it really has. It's changed the way
Mhm.
we as American citizens interact with each other, and I think it would be good to be taught. They need to study it, to be honest.
Mhm.
Study
Mhm.
the effects of kind of it's a war within, you know. So I'm not against that.
I think we just did a 2 hour long podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two
Let's
hour
end it
special.
there. Let's end it there. That was insane. Any final things? I'm just
Do
gonna.
we have Twitter shout outs?
I don't know. Let's. Nah.
Probably not. Probably
I'll
not. I
just do
doubt.
them real quick. We got Cliff Lumen, friend of the show, Josh Hartzler, our number
Friend
one
of the show.
viewer,
Yeah, number one.
and yeah, that's all I got because I'm just making those off the top of my head.
We
Good
know
pod
there's
today,
one too.
gentlemen. Leave
All
your
right.
thoughts down in the comments.
Respect to all the boys.
All right. Peace out.